and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you back to a brand new episode of No Neutral, hosted by Neutral Weapon, Men in Brackets, or Big Hollywood, Rob TV, and my guy, Brian F. Brian, how you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling awesome we got some big events coming up. We'll get to it soon,
sir.
But I think we got a lot to cover this weekend. We got our work cut out for ourselves this weekend. You might be seeing us on a couple different stages, if you know what I'm saying.
Definitely. someone that's or a few people that are actually bringing us to a completely different stage in a completely different country is, of course, my people Nanai and No Motion over there holding it down for us at Capcom Fighters Japan. I appreciate you guys so much. And of course, shout out to Sasa-san from last week, because we actually forgot to shout you out by name, and I would never disrespect you like that. Arigato gozaimashita. So, Brian, just this past week, something amazing happened. EU West, Takamura, the champ. But even outside of that, the whole tournament was amazing. You know who my favorite person was in this entire tournament, bro? Escudo, the Alex man. He's nice, bro. He's nice.
Very nice. I feel like we were pretty on point with the people we decided to shout out, who we thought might go far this event, but we did miss Escudo, who's been kind of creeping up on my radar with the Salt Mine Links, making those performances with that Alex. He's really showing off the strength of this character, because Alex is a real character these days. I'm sure you're well aware of that, yeah. Rob. I know you're sweating every Alex you come across in tournament.
Until I start picking Chun-Li on him.
All right, we'll see about that this weekend. But anyways, yeah, CPT West happened, Europe West, and it was an amazing show. You already mentioned Takamura claiming the prize, claiming the throne, earning his ticket to Capcom Cup, but there was an amazing top 8. I just want to give a shout out to all the people who placed. Fasa coming in 7th with his fantastic V-Trigger 2 Urian. Whether it's strategic or stubbornness, who knows? He makes it work. So congratulations to getting 7th. Haruko coming in 7th as well. MDZ Jimmy proving he's not just a content creator, but he can perform with the best of them. Congrats on 5th place. Akram VVVV coming in 5th as well. Your guy Escudo, my guy as well. Everybody's guy with that Alex in 4th place with some spectacular matches. And OG Ryan Hart
went off
work. Oh my God, some of the best matches this whole weekend, coming in at 3rd, a very, very close 3rd. He looked like he was in prime form. So congrats to Ryan Hart. Momi coming just short with 2nd place. I know it's a heartbreaking position to finish in, but he had a fantastic run all the way until Takamura had to close it out. And man, Takamura, I mentioned before, I feel like Takamura is that guy who's graduated. I feel like he's graduated to that elite level, and this weekend I feel like just kind of proves it again.
It's hard to argue with that, Brian. I know I gave you a little bit of pushback with that. Of course, I also picked Takamura to win that tournament. However, when you're saying that you feel like he's gotten to that now elite level, I'm like, I don't know. But you know who he reminds me of, bro? He reminds me of Adam. Adam is the one player, at least that comes to my mind, that I saw go through all of the stages over a couple of years. Adam was for a while at like the top of that B level, somewhere like where around yourself, me, Shine, Nephew, players like that, and Adam was like at the top of that. And then we saw him actually make that jump. It's a rarity. 9 times out of 10, we're just seeing players who are amazing for years and years and years. So when I see someone like Adam and someone like now Takamura, who I have to agree with you, man, he may be elite now. The way that he's winning and everything, it's extremely inspirational, and it brings up something that's not really brought up a whole lot in fighting games. The importance of, there's 2 things: reinventing yourself in some ways, and the mentality of knowing that you are supposed to beat your opponent, whoever they are. Because to me, there's a lot of players who stay at a certain level for years and years and years and years and years. Players who are around far before Big Hollywood and everything. And I think a part of that reason is that they get so used to losing to certain players. They get so used to the certain players getting a whole lot of attention, and oh yeah, that's Takedo, that's so-and-so, they're just supposed to win. Takamura, nah, he doesn't feel that way at all, and he makes it very clear with his play. And as far as reinventing himself, remember, he was actually a Kim Main back in the day. And not only was he a Kim Main in character usage, he was a Kim Main in his brain. In that heart, because he used to be a wild one. You remember that, right?
I mean, I would say you're not wrong, but I think he's still wild is the thing. So yeah, back in the day, he was known amongst the top EU players for being like, oh, their secret weapon, because you're used to a certain style of play. The Takamura comes out of nowhere, and it's like back strong run, DP. What? You know, like he'll make those wild decisions, and you're like, huh? But he's doing all that while he's beating you, right? So he's always been like a really, really strong player since Street Fighter V Season 1 and 2 when he was rocking Ken. But since his transition to Akuma, I think he still has that element, but he knows when to incorporate it. He had the most amount of moments where he did nothing, but also the most amount of moments where he did everything. And that's what I love about his play, is that he knows how to strategize to his opponent. Like when you watch him versus Jimmy, his set versus Jimmy, it was such a conservative set. The amount of fireballs he threw, I need someone to count for me. I don't recall any. I don't recall any significant fireball usage at all. He just said, I'm Akuma. I have significant range over Ryu. I can get into your ranges where you're going to be uncomfortable throwing fireballs. I can react with them with maybe a Tatsu or parry through them. And at that range, you try to poke me, I got medium kick, buffered into something. I got fierce punch. I got low forward confirms to get the knockdown, get the pressure going. And he stuck with that strategy. But then he also knows when to kick it into high gear. I mean, what he really stands out to me with is those moments where he shows that supreme awareness. He sees a situation and he has an answer to it that you did not know was possible. And he did that with flying colors in the CPT 2020 finals against Infectious, right? That set where he was using the parries against the Grams out of nowhere. He brought answers to the matchup that I didn't know were a thing, and he immediately implemented them and had success. Same thing here. His match against Ryan Hart, EX knee drop in the corner. There's an up mirror in front of him. Takamura's backed in the corner. You think it's a free EX knee drop in? He immediately responds to jump back, air medium punch, cancel the air fireball to kill him. And it's like, it's like, you're ready for that? You're ready with all this on the screen. You're ready for that? And then another time, that same
all that
game
on the screen and the situation being CPT.
Right. Yeah, with all the pressure on, I mean, like, it's just to have the answer, not only like that theoretical knowledge, like, yeah, I've done this in training mode before, but then to bust it out there on the spot the first time it comes up immediately is another thing. He has both the calm and he knows the pacing of when to turn it up, and he also has the technical answers that I think makes him the most unique Akuma right now. Maybe the strongest active one too. I don't know. He's entering that conversation to me.
What? What?
Tokido's a Urian main.
Every day, okay, I feel like we shoot no neutral. I feel like you bring such logic. You're just like Takamura. You're the Takamura of hosting. You're so solid the whole time, and then you just do something that makes no sense.
Who's a better Akuma? Who's a better Akuma right now?
Tokido.
Does he play Akuma?
Anyway, Brian, I really like what you brought up there. You know, my dad, when you talk about the Takamura strategy, my dad he asked me a question before. He's like, if you had to jump out of a plane with a parachute, would you rather be confident or competent? And what you would rather be is competent, of course, right? Because you can be confident for the wrong reasons. And when you look at Takamura's play, the reason that he's so calm in those situations, the reason that we're able to see him win so dominantly is because of a word that you kept bringing up so often there and at the perfect times: strategy. He knew exactly what his win condition was, as far as in the character matchup especially, and up against players. So when he gets in those tight situations, you're gonna see amazing tech and you're gonna see amazing patience, because he knows exactly what he's looking for. He's already played that match out 1,000 times in his head, and then we see him when he was able to play it out actually on screen in front of us, he was able to get the W. But one player who tried to make it difficult for him in grand finals and failed, but shout out to him anyway, was my guy Momi, who had an amazing run throughout the whole tournament, man. He was extremely hyped. It brings up something interesting. There was something that Momi did a whole lot of, and it wasn't surprising to those of us who know him well. He was dropping the bags, man. I think his down button might have been stuck or something like that, Brian. And I wonder, like, what do you think about taunting as a whole? Is taunting, teabagging, things of that nature, is it tasteless? Is it put extra pressure on yourself? What do you think?
Well, I think you kind of have to divvy up your mindset. There's what you think about it, and then there's the fact that you got to deal with it. I think you got to totally separate those two things. Because as a competitor, if I get taunted or teabagged, I don't care. Right? That's how you have to think about it. You have to move on. You can't let it affect you. Now, if I remove myself from that situation, generally, my personal opinion is I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't mind it either. Would I ever do that myself in a competitive environment? No, because I feel like that's karma. I feel like I think there's a problem mentally.
You're soft.
No, let me tell you something. There's something mentally that happens when you try to inflate yourself up. When you're taunting, when you're teabagging, to me, what that usually speaks of in a lot of situations is that you're not as confident as you're coming off of as. I feel like it's like puffing your chest up. You're trying to make yourself appear larger than you really are. Personally, for my own sort of mentality, I feel like it can do harm to yourself to hype yourself up. And then if there's anything that cracks that armor, it can come toppling down much harder on you. But if you're on the receiving end of it, I think it's a valid tactic. If someone wants to use it, to me, you just move on. They're just wasting inputs is how you have to think about it, because you'll get blown up, you'll get embarrassed, you'll get taunted, you'll get clowned on all the time, but you just gotta win. That's the only thing you should be concerned about. Anything that happens in between is just like irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Just find the win. So I know you've actually used it yourself. So is there actually something to it that you think is legit? Well, you know what?
First off, let me hold on 1 second, Brian. Excuse me, I know that might have looked weird and random, but I had to get the power from the God so that I can even get these facts, these heavy facts off of my chest right now, okay? Now listen, there's different type of people and different type of competitors in this world, okay? And what works for one person may not work for the next. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, and that's why people argue so much on Twitter and things of that nature, or say asinine things like what Brian just said about taunting and teabagging, all right? If I'm feeling it, it's a natural thing in me being myself and me feeling like that I'm all the way in my element. So if that's naturally how I am, if I'm naturally like a more boisterous type of person sometimes and things of that nature, if I suppress that, now I am going to have a harder time winning and things of that nature because I'm trying to be something I'm not. It's just like when it comes down to hosting or doing things like this, right? There's some people, a whole lot of people love the fact that I'm gonna tell jokes and have energy and things of that nature and just be myself. But there's some people that are gonna be like, oh, he's too loud. Oh my goodness, did he just show some personality and have fun? Get him off the screen. Well, in the end of the day, I'm not going to capitulate so that I can, appease that type of person. So there's that side, and then outside of that, Brian, we used to bring up the whole like karma thing and all that. Listen, Brian, it's war. What are you talking about? How can you get bad karma for smoking someone?
Well, I don't mean it in that sense. I mean it as in what you just mentioned, being true to yourself. I feel like sometimes people use the taunt or when someone does a taunt or a teabag and you're not feeling it. Those moments have happened where they try to employ that when they're like down or something, and then they're not feeling it, and you're not feeling the energy from it. There's a sixth sense that's going on there where you can be like, this dude is about to get smoked. Like there's the I'm destroying somebody's teabag, and then there's the I'm losing and I'm going out and I might as well just like taunt and throw it away kind of deal. So I think it's all about being true to yourself, like you mentioned, because for me, that's not true to me. I'm trying to keep it together, right? That's not where my mind is. I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to be my eye on the prize, right? So if I go out of my way and I start doing that, something's off. Like that is not my element. So I totally agree. Like if it's how you are, suppressing your own energy and trying to go outside of your comfort zone like that is definitely going to be detrimental. So if you feel that way, go for it, for sure.
Go in. But now, all right, now this is another thing though, right? I feel like there's a time and place for everything. Like if I'm playing against Daigo or Takedo or something like that, like no matter what's going on.
They've been teabagged.
I know, and it's cringe to me.
Those names you brought up have been teabagged. But I mean, what about what you just mentioned, right? Like if you have that energy, if you're about it, like it doesn't matter if you're just going for the W. What is respect at that point? It's war, isn't it?
It is war. It is.
So
war.
I feel like aren't you kind of admitting you're holding yourself back a little bit for these outside of the game cultural connections?
Just because it's war doesn't mean that war crimes don't exist, Brian. Okay, so there's some things like we won't mention exactly.
The winners write history, Rob. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's very true. I put it like this. In the end of the day, and this is something that people hate to admit, but if you're someone who just wins all the time, to a degree, you can do whatever you want, and people are still I can't really use this word on Capcom Fighters, but people are still gonna
mess with you.
People are still gonna ride the wave. People are still gonna ride the wave and be extremely supportive of you just because you win so much. But if you're somebody who doesn't win as much and you do the same things, all of a sudden you are the bad guy and everyone hates you because people are hypocrites. I'm not. I feel the same way no matter who does it, right? So with that being the case, yeah, of course there's always going to be caveats with things, bro. But I don't think, for one, like, if the culture is outside of that, then I think that, to me, it's cringe to do it. And I think if you're going against a player that's significantly weaker than you, then that's just lame to me, bro. Like, what's the point? I feel like even if I'm stronger than someone, but we're somewhat near each other to some degree, okay, like you're also a good tournament player as well. But if I'm going up against someone and they're like, we're on completely different planets, I've never seen why someone craves that sort of thing. To me, bro, okay, that's kind of too faceted. To me, for one, let it be somewhere around your level, because at that point, that's when I respect it, okay? Because that person has the ability to beat you and you're taking that risk. Also, don't do it afterward. I don't like when people don't talk trash and then win and then talk trash. That's ridiculous to me. That's so soft. You didn't put it all on the line. When me and you had our first to 10, I talked trash beforehand, and of course it was all friendly and love and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? You put, even if we weren't cool, I would have talked trash beforehand and put it on the line. Don't just wait until after you win.
I feel you. But what I'm thinking here is teabagging versus taunting. What happened to the taunts? You know what? One thing I think Street Fighter V could be a little bit better in is having custom taunts. That's the one thing I think it's missing. But I feel like taunting is almost more classy than teabagging. Don't you feel like you know who does do that? Who? Tokido. Everyone remembers Evo 2017 Grand Finals. Yeah. He had the stun. He had the opportunity to do the taunt, the ground pound taunt combo into the uppercut. I think he went to the super to kill, right? That's kind of a classy taunt, is it? You know what I mean? And there's commitment to it. A teabag is just down, down, down. There's no commitment. You can block right after, right? A taunt, you're stuck in that animation. So that's one thing I'm kind of interested to see, is like, when is that going to come back? Because to me, there's more risk to that. There's more risk to it, but there's something that's like, the fact that it's more cowardly to teabag kind of makes it even more of a villain thing to do. Kind of like in WWE or AEW or something, and the bad guy slides out of the ring and stuff like that instead of fighting sometimes so that he can catch his breath. Like, I feel like that's like it's a villainous move. I feel
it's a villainous move.
The taunt is classy. The teabag is a little, it's more aggressive and dirty. It's very crude.
And it's universal. Like, I feel like just looking at that. I mean, come on, man. We all remember
didn't come from fighting games.
We remember Modern Warfare 2, bro. Modern Warfare 2 was a wild one, and it may have existed before that, but that's when I remember it all.
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah, it goes way back in the FPS game. So it didn't start with Street Fighter. We can say that for sure. But that said, there's a lot of disrespect in that topic, and that's what it's all about when competing sometimes. But there's a certain competition coming up. This weekend, today, the top 16 of this event, and it's a big one for me and you. That is CPT NA Midwest. It is finally here. I know we've been waiting for it. And I mean, we got a cast of characters. So I'm gonna give a shout out to a few of those players. Well, actually, here, let me let you go first, Rob. Who are your dark horses right now? Let me get some names. Who do you think?
Ooh, dark horse. Okay. Dark horse, I'm going to go Ramsey. I'm going to go Spriggan. Kevin Malone Chili, as y'all know him now. But those of us in the Midwest, we know his name was Spriggan first. I'm going to go Dr. African.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, Texas. Mag Negro. He's actually, he's from Alabama, and they're actually included. So those would be my dark horses. Those are all good players, but not the people who I think that people would look and say are the outright. I don't think they're the outright like favorites.
I definitely agree that they could all go on deep runs, and they've done it in the past. I think these are. Yeah. I think I'm excited for this event because I feel like these are the players that we have known for a long time to be at this level, but have never really gotten the shine, and it's gotten better in 2020. I feel like because the NLBC has been doing work for this region as well. They opened up the Midwest.
True.
But we also have Texas in here. Texas is not part of that NLBC region. They're more like WNF.
Oh, let's add Twisted Rivera. I want to add
Twisted Rivera. That was gonna be my guy. So my dark horse, I would say, shout out to Twisted. The Zoomer himself. He can do work with the Alex. I think he's gonna be a guy who might go far in this bracket. And then I think you nailed a lot of the dark horses. I think now we're entering kind of like the favorites territory.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to give a shout out to El Chicote, right? Tay. He's going to be doing work.
Yes, sir.
Joey is a contender to take the whole thing. He's always been one of the highest placers from the Midwest region, even beyond just Midwest events and LBC or whatever. I mean, he goes to Evo. He's taken names before. And that's what I want a lot of people to know is like these players, if you haven't heard of them, just look up their CPT records or look up their history against your favorite player, because players like Joey, you know who ended your favorite player's Evo run 2017, 2018, 2019. It's players like Joey. Like he took out, I believe, Punko. I think he beat Fudo in the mirror.
Fudo in the mirror match. Right. I remember that.
Like players like this are beating your favorite, most well-known world-class players in the bracket, but maybe off stream, and you go, oh, why didn't Fudo enter this tournament? He did. He just got taken out by one of the Midwest players. And so that's someone like Joey, who I feel like hasn't had exactly that level of shine yet. And I think he's like right on the cusp. And he just qualified for Intel. So shout out to Joey. Dual Kevin. Just like,
come on now.
Rock solid. Rock solid. Like,
CEO top 8, baby. Everybody remember that CEO top 8 when I was looking ugly.
We got to see her.
No, please don't.
Ugly crying for his boy Dual Kevin.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a beautiful moment. That was an amazing, one of the best top 8 matches for Street Fighter V. Period. The comeback from down 2-0 against I'm forgetting his name. Ryusei. Yes. One of the best Urians in Japan, and then Dual Kevin just made it look surgical, right? I mean, he's just so precise and so solid, and has probably the best anti-airs
in Street Fighter. Yeah, like I love how you stopped right there and didn't add in the Midwest or anything like that.
No qualifier there.
Yes, Dual Kevin might have the best anti-airs in all of Street Fighter. It's out of him, CJ Truth, and Mashabo. Like he's
right. You just don't jump against him. You don't.
No,
you don't. It's a waste of your health bar.
Bro, and I just want to make sure that we bring up just some of Midwest history to these people, man. Like and I feel like our region is more gritty. I don't know if it's something to do with just us not being as popular as a region as a whole. It was always, even when I was watching Street Fighter 4 and everything, bro, it was always the big East Coast versus West Coast exhibition, the big NLBC versus Wednesday Night Fights exhibitions, things of that nature, which I'm not against or anything like that. That stuff is amazing. But when you feel overlooked, which this has been changing a lot as we can see with things like this, but when you feel overlooked for so long, and we didn't have people out on the front lines like we do now, representing for us on the biggest stages, I think it kind of put us in a place where every single match meant a lot to us. So when we traveled, we were like a pack of wolves, man. Like 2017, 2018 and stuff, man. Like when we go to majors, the loudest people in the room were probably Midwest. And I'm saying that's facts. That's facts. Right. There's countless matches where it was even to the point where I remember when Abigail was busted in when season 3 came out, the most busted character ever, right? And it was that final round. And remember, Cool Kid was just smoking everybody. Like, and a part of me felt bad to be rooting so hard against Sako and Fudo and all these guys while I know that.
But not that bad.
But not that bad because it's mid-best. You know what I mean? Speaking of Cool Kid, man, how many people, we've seen plenty of people get top 8 and things of that nature, right? Like, we've seen players from different regions in America make top 8s at EVO in recent memory. Cool Kid made top 8 at EVO, and what happened? Midwest was on that stage. We didn't care about no cameras or nothing like that and clout or anything like that. We just had that in our bodies. Because it feels like, actually, I don't even need to qualify that because y'all see me ugly crying for Dual Kevin and stuff. And not just me, just a kid, Zach in a box, classical, so on and so forth, man. It's really like a family vibe. So when we see our people winning, it just feels like it's a piece of you up there. So stuff like this, to see the Midwest be recognized to this point, to the point where we've put in enough work to actually get our own CPT event, it feels beautiful, and there's a whole lot on the line here, Brian. It feels amazing.
There definitely is. And the interesting thing about this event is it is highly in the Midwest, but there's more than the Midwest here. Let's not forget. There's also Texas, all of Texas, and also Canada. So we haven't brought up any of the Canadian killers, so I just want to give them a highlight real quick. My guy, Brutus, the meanest geef and Abigail in the business. I mean, like, he's the guy I go to. We had a team tournament. Stack Bradford put on a cool team tournament event. I knew Idom was on the opposing team. I had to recruit somebody to take out Idom. So the only guy I could think of for the job was my guy, Brutus. It was like a 5-3 in the first of 5 set. He didn't get the job totally done, but that's where he's at that level. Like, he is one of the most extraordinary grappler players we have in the North America, and actually, like, North America, I'm going to use that correctly this time, not just America, right? So he's doing work, and he'll be in this event as well, and my guy's safe.
Safe man. Bad
I think I didn't bring him up in the dark horses because I feel like we know so much.
Yeah,
we know,
he's not a dark horse to us.
I don't know if the audience or like the general audience knows about Safe. He's that guy who, like, he doesn't enter that many events. He doesn't enter every NLBC. He just entered NLBC last week and he got second place, barely losing to Idom, pushing Idom to the limits. Yeah, I didn't count him as a dark horse because I expect him to be top 8, but I don't think many of the audience members know. And of course, there's a couple other there's a couple other people I think we might be seeing make a deep run this event. Yeah. Can you think of any?
Oh, I mean, Brian, I'm letting you know this right now. You better hope somebody put me out or something, because if we play, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm putting that out there off jump, straight up. There's only one player that's like the best player on no neutral, bro. I guess that's like logically the only way it can be. But it's me, Brian. Everyone knows it at this point, okay? And I love you, buddy, but I can't be stalked by you. I know that your mustache is fake. Everybody else who loses to you, they lose because they're intimidated because they think you got a real Reno 911 mustache. But I know you got that from Party City, bro. So you can't beat me, and it's gonna be ugly if we play. I guarantee it. You gotta
I hope you qualify. We're going on right before top 16. I hope you're at least in the top 16. It'll be great to see you there, Rob. That's all I'm saying. It'll be wonderful to have the no neutral team make it to top 8. So you sound confident. I respect it, because it's not just me in that bracket. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts.
You got the first to 10, but it's about the long game this time. So so if you guys haven't picked up on it, we're entering this tournament as well. So I guess we're hoping to be doing the pre-show to our own victory here. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
Be beautiful, bro.
That'll be an amazing thing.
Come on, man. If we could have a no neutral grand finals.
Ooh.
For the content, baby. And I tell you what, this right here, this CPT Midwest top 16 is not about content. It's about not being content, actually. It's about trying to make it to the Capcom Cup and represent the Midwest. There is no debating necessary. We don't gotta say who's better out of this and that. All you gotta do is say, hey, look at the scoreboard. I'm going to Capcom Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait. CPT Midwest top 16.
run off to Mom, Dad.
These matches are going to be even more ridiculous.
If you know anything about Street Fighter, you do not doubt the GOAT.
My man is always hitting go. You thought I was playing? Oh, you're hella dead.
The main event.
Help me out, Nadeshko.
Look how much it means to him.
Wow! Not over! It's not over! Are you serious? My man is breathing right now. My man is breathing.
Welcome everybody to the Midwest, the Mid-Best CPT. First one on the dot. My name is St. Cola. What is this? Thin crust? Get that out of here, because we are deep dish delish in this top 16 bracket. I'm back on the mic, and I can't do it alone. I'm joined with my homie, Ultra David. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing fantastically. I can't help but notice how easily that sailed through the air. That thin piece of paper, it's like nothing.
Ooh, yeah.
Who would want to have anything like that? Not
Exactly.
me. Make it thick. Make it thick for me. We got a lot of great players here. I loved what the folks said on the intro there when Brian and Rob were talking. There are a ton of very strong players in this region.
Right.
We were talking about this beforehand. And it's true that many of these players have had fantastic performances in the past. You may not have been aware because sometimes that doesn't make it onto the stream. But players can play really, really well and just not quite make it to those moments. Now, some of them have. Some of these players absolutely have.
Oh, yeah.
But others are going to be strong even if you don't yet know their names.
That's true. And I mean, I feel like if you've been watching any of these online tournaments, even the ones before that, you can see a lot of these names in the top 16 that is going to be coming up on the screen real soon here. But if we take a look, these are familiar faces. El Chicote, y'all know him. And Justa, who used to go by Just a Kid, but I guess we're saying Justa. Brian F., the underscores who make top 8s and stuff like that. Of course, Rob TV and Matt Gear, that you see definitely coming through in the top 8s. These are all familiar faces, familiar names. Brutus, Datfit. These are strong competitors right here. And even in the loser side of things, not just in the winner side, even the loser side of the top 16 bracket out here. These are all familiar faces. Some of them may be new, but again, as you said before, sometimes you don't see them on the stream. Sometimes maybe you don't catch those online tournaments, but they're there. They're working, and that's why they're in this top 16 spot.
For sure, yeah, you can check it out right there. That's Joe Ume Rogan versus Toplin. You got Kendricks versus just Destructive, Ramsey and Dual Kevin, and then Joey and Magnegro. Some of these names I've known for a decade, maybe longer than that. I feel like I've known Magnegro since SRK days forever ago. And for some of the others, it's a little bit more recent. But yeah, there is a lot of skill all the way up and down that bracket right there. And some really fun matchups, too. Some people who know each other really well have played a million times. Other people who are, haven't played quite as often or who are more on the come up as well. So it really does run the gamut. I'm very interested to see a bunch of these matchups. For me personally, as somebody who plays some of the characters that will be involved, but also I'm really happy that the Midwest gets this.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I think this region's really, really deserving of it.
Oh, of course it is. And, bias aside, never mind. There's going to be bias.
That's fine.
We deserve it, okay? No coast, no kings, baby. You see what's on the shirt? Okay? The fact that the Midwest has been working for so long and is finally getting its due, especially here when we've got Combo Breaker and stuff like that, there's other tournaments, but really getting the focus in a CPT kind of style is, even if you don't win, even if you don't make it to that last spot, you still get that drive, like, dang, I was so close, I could have did it, and you know that it's possible, you know that it's there. So shout out to Capcom for giving us this, and I'm not just talking about Midwest, everybody that's been included in this CPT bracket right here. I'm talking about Toronto and all that stuff, in Canada boys out there, and then obviously in Texas and stuff like that. Everybody that's been included in this is getting that showcase, and y'all are going to get to see this top level action. As you said before, these people have been playing each other a lot, so you're going to get to see layers upon layers. Like, they have to come up with new stuff. You've been playing somebody on a weekly basis on the online locals, the Casas, the low kick weeklies, things like that. The Digital Havocs. Shouts to all those people putting on that stuff, by the way. But you get to see that higher echelon of play.
It's true, yeah. Like, for example, when Chakotay and Justic play, that's going to be people who know each other super, super well, right? And those are fun matchups because we get to see the nth level of the mix-up, things that are always changing. It gets to look really funky and weird for people who are just viewing in on it. You're taking a little look at this small slice of this giant amount of time that they've played against each other, which makes for a lot of fun for watching. So, yeah. Lots of great players in this. Huge geographic range all the way from Texas to Ontario, down to Alabama and back up. It is big. Let's check in, though, on those first couple players. Going to hear a little bit from El Chicote and Justin. We got Justin up first. I'm only here to beat 4 people. My second best dad, my buddy Kev, that Minnesota Mika, I don't know who that is, and of course, Hollywood.
You said it right. Father's Day is coming up tomorrow. What better way to give that person a present than to defeat them in this tournament? What better way? And Just a Kid, he's going to be fighting one of those. But let's see what his opponent has to say.
Okay, let's have a great set, kid. That's just really keeping it muted there. I appreciate that.
That's Tay. He's a nice boy, but when it puts hands on the sticks, it's a different story. He plays Mika, and that's not a character that you are friendly with when you start playing them. That character creates so much frustration, so much pressure. It's when she gets you in the corner. Neutral, mid-screen, it's whatever. And that's where Just Kid wants to stay in this match when things come up. In fact, I was watching him play earlier before. He was talking about how he has to play against El Chicote. He's like, I got to stay away. I don't want to be in the blender. I'm not trying to be on a YouTube video. Will it blend? That's not me. Not me.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. What do we got here lined up with Jury and Mika? Okay, so no big surprises. Both of these players can play other characters at high levels as well. But we were talking about this, and this seemed like a likely pick, and that is indeed what we're going to go in with. So here we go. Game number 1. Top 16 CPT NA Midwest.
Again, we're going to have to see that nice poking gameplay, real annoying, real lame kind of style. And he's been a lot better about that. In fact, I got to give love to Just a Kid. His anti-airs have been getting better. His adaptations have been getting better. He's way different than who we used to be. In fact, I got to take the kid off the name. It's Justa right now. It's Justa.
That's right. He outgrew it. And he's really holding, wow, sick button choice. He's holding onto this space really, really well. He's doing exactly what you said. Don't get close. Don't let her get close anyway, not on her terms.
And using things like the walk speed, too, just to move on through and interrupting the drop kick. No crush, no problem.
He's done that several times at this point. He makes Mika pay for it and goes in slightly. I wouldn't expect that to be overdone. It's not. However, Nadeshko sending this into the corner. No, it's a little funky.
It's unfortunate. The splash, not a lot, though. EX activation, of course, coming through. And this extends that pressure of the character. If you don't have universal, you're holding a lot of this.
Patience with Just a Kid. And like an adult, he ends up taking it on reaction.
I don't know.
He does what he needs to do.
Adults having reactions, I guess, dag on them, but I'll tell you,
right.
Not me. I'm predictive.
Aha! El Chicote starting it off big time. I'm telling you, we're looking in on the nth level of bizarre mix-ups between these two.
Right. Mix EXDP, though, to stave off the stun. But you're still caught up in the corner. Activation might get some pressure out of here. Just that push off some of these normals. Back to mid-screen. He uses V-Skill, too. And that's something that I kind of like, because you're not going to be using V-Skill 1 that much in this matchup. No fireballs really you got to really worry about, so you can extend the pressure if you can find the time. If you can find the time! El Chicote landing the CA, and it's a lot of damage.
Ah, okay. One more. He's keeping it light.
Oh!
He was in range still. That must have been by pixels right there.
The centimeters. Like centimeters. All right.
We're in NA, buddy. We're talking about inches.
Okay. Neutral jump. Smart answers. And his adaptations have been so great. As I've watched him through this tournament on his stream, he's like, okay, you're introducing this. I got away. EX in play. In the DP to do it. Yo, Justa. One more sequence after this is going to be the win.
Okay. One character you do not want to let this happen. Okay. And even if she ends up hitting after, it doesn't matter. She doesn't anyway. But okay, there you go. So Just a Kid ends up taking game number 1. That was close. I mean, you look at it now and you kind of look at what the life bars are like at the end of that round. And you think, okay, that was a close one. But it was almost a domination in that round, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I think, again, Just a Kid having that adaptation to just, okay, if you want to come through with the charge heavy kick, right? You want to drop kick me, get the crush counter in the party starter. I have a way to play. I'll neutral jump you and delete that off the table. And again, the pressure from this character, you can see that Mika has issues in the neutral. I know I'm giving Mika players even more ammo. Luffy's going to be like, oh, I agree. I definitely agree. I still think Mika's good. I still think Mika has her points. And if things would have went bad in the corner, then we would have been looking at a different game, but that didn't happen. Great defense by Just a Kid. Really great offense. Let's see if things can continue. Remember, this is a first to 2 all the way through this bracket until tomorrow. So what can you do? You got to make those adjustments like that.
I'm definitely thinking about how many times Justa checked that charged roundhouse, or not
Right.
even just charged roundhouse, regular roundhouse as well. He didn't get got by the timing mix-up between those two. He was willing to risk the jab, the very crush counterable jab as a counter. He just was confident in his timing.
And what a stage to pick right here. Nice anti-air. Just a kid with a round start. And again, trying to deny any of that approach and that pressure. Anti-airing, poking away, lane style, just pecking away. Nothing too heavy.
That jab has just been surgically placed. And it is a risk. We're playing on the internet, folks. He's doing it.
There's a jump in, corner carry off the peach. Normal throw. And now it starts. The stun is rising.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Always a few mix-ups away.
El Chicote, again, he knows where he makes his money. It's in the corner, right? You get them in the corner, you piece them up, you blend them, they make them guess, and they have to figure out, can I D-shift this, can I EXCP? It's too late. You already got. Next game, next round. There's the kid, taking to the corner, other side, state to state.
Keeping it pretty light. That's fine. Oh, no. Here comes. Oh, really tried to backdash out of there.
Wow.
Look at that red bar.
Oh, the confirm. The
The
heavy.
spacing, to be honest, just outside of that range.
And it's just so non-committal. I feel like he knows where to stand. The interruption, though. The disco. And that's the switch that we're seeing. The V-trigger, too.
Yeah.
And still
Yeah,
has
got another one.
play. Yeah.
Will Justa let the activation come out?
No.
No. And that kind of play style from El Chicote right there was definitely him telegraphing, I'm looking for the right one moment. I'm not looking for the dash.
Set point, just a kid. Just a drop kick, but the check on the dash. You're going 16 to 25. I'm going to need you to mind the speed limit.
Look at this. Justice in complete control. Ready there as well.
The stun. Goes that far, and this is where she really shines. When she has those stocks locked and loaded. Runs the DP, one more hit to do it. Just a kid. Prime is just going to take this.
Yeah, backdashing. Anything obviously is going to do it at this point.
And the jab check. Just a jab. Just a dab will do you. Just a. You know what? If I called you kid a couple of times, I'm sorry. You might be just a man. You might be just a man. That's one person down in the black book. He's already written down one name. Only 3 more remain.
Well, he's always going to be a kid to me. There's a story from a couple of years ago when those two players right there, El Chicote and Justa came up to me and James Chen, and they were like, hey, guys, we've been watching you commentate our whole lives. We grew up watching you commentate, James and I.
You shriveled?
We shriveled right there. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's super awesome, actually.
Thanks,
so to see those two play against each other is a bummer because they are good friends. They've played so
Right.
many times, but there it is. Justa moves on in winner's side. So we will see him tomorrow.
Yeah, so already situated with that. Next up is going to be Brian F versus Underscore. Oh my God. I can't wait for this match. If you are not familiar with Underscore, and I mean this in the kindest of ways, people, I promise you. And I can say this because I'm his friend, all right? This dude is such a nice person outside. He's a teacher and he's an educator, you know. Cool. He also is a journalist. But inside the match, he is one person that you don't want to see. You see him up in rank, you're like, just take my point. Just take my points. So it's such a difference from like his personality to how he plays. He plays that Cammy, and he's going up against Brian F, though. I mean, we all know who Brian F is, you know, the content god out here. Shouts to Brian F and his beautiful YouTube channel. What is that channel, by the way?
Oh, yeah, Brian F definitely wants us to say, subscribe to my YouTube, ! That is /Brian_F. He definitely does a lot of great work out there. Yeah, he's one of the better known players for sure in this region. Not just because of that content, but also because he is a fantastic player and has been a top-level player for quite some time now. And, you know, with the expansion of NLBC out to include the Midwest, we've seen him show up there a bunch of times, take some W's as well. It's definitely been a great opportunity for him, and he has done a tremendous job at continuing even to improve. Already was good, continuing even more to improve. And at this point, you know, I think you got to say that he is one of the favorites for this event.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, after having that momentum from like an online scene where like you know you're juggling content and being a good player, having that momentum of just pulling it into the top 16 of CPT is super strong. Like I like that Brian F is able to juggle these things, stay solid, and be a great competitor. And we already know about we'll talk about Hollywood later on, but these content creators staying strong, staying great competitors and players and stuff like that is really great to see that they're contributing to the scene in so many different ways. And Underscore as well. He's also a writer. He also has his own website. Make sure you guys check out his website. I believe it's like WePlay or something like that. You'll have to hit me up Underscore on this one. But he also contributing. I like that people are contributing to the scene not only by playing, but just by producing content, furthering what we do, showcasing why we're great, which is a fantastic thing. And I can't do it. All I can do is commentate and play at a subpar level out here. That's why you see me on this mic and not on the sticks. I'll tell you that. I flew out here for this, but I'd like to get some some information about these players a little bit more too.
Players, what do you got to say? Let's get the quotes in for them. Who do we got?
I'm here to do my best. This is proof that the hard work and blocking out the naysayers will get you far in your goals. Good luck, have fun to everyone from the Midwest. You're my family. Listen, we love you Underscore, but I mean, it's hard to take these words to heart when you play Cammy. Then again, you're a strong competitor, and we always love seeing it, brother. Now, let's get Brian F on the screen. Wow.
If he back rolls every knockdown, I win. All right. So Brian's coming in here with a good scope on the situation, a very specific player-related scope. Well, look, it's a Brian F hallmark for sure to have done the homework and to have a good understanding of what players like to do and to have his strategy for how he thinks that he's going to win, considering what they're likely to do. And I'm not surprised at all to see that kind of thing from him.
He's very surgical, very technical, and one of the reasons why I'm going to enjoy this match, and you all at home are going to too as well, is the fact that Underscore is the opposite. He's a wild child. He is all over the place. There's rhyme to his reason, but if you see a full screen spiral arrow,
you have to make it safe on block like a genius? Is that what you're talking about?
If it works, yes. If it doesn't, it's still genius, but Underscore, he's been through this before. Like he's actually scaled down those risky moments. Okay. What makes him so dangerous is that if he can stay solid and then implement those risky moments, it's going to be hard for Brian F to read that tempo. Maybe you did all that research, but you came to geology class, but this is a math class, dog. You in calculus. You in the wrong place, the wrong space. Let's get this match started. Underscore versus Brian F. Oh, man, oh, baby. I can't wait for this one. Ooh-wee. I don't even know if Brian F is ready for this. I don't know how much they played. I've seen them interact a couple times, but not recently.
Okay. See if he can find the proper derivation. He's trying to steal a couple of forward moments there, Brian. He's got 2 and 2, if you notice on the bottom right. V-skill trigger as well.
And that's for pressure, right? Having those plus frames to get going. This matchup's not going to be easy for Rog, no matter which way you put it. But the damage on the deck can be the differential between them. And if you have the pressure points like the V skill too, staying in, I'll be able to get that win right there, landing it. EX connects.
Yeah, it's a funky chase so far. Underscore has not, well, I was about to say, okay, I was about to say had not had any of the wildness you were talking about, but there's a couple of instances.
So this is DP raw, anti-air the back, brainless back medium, I should say. Activation off the fierce. And now, this is where Cammy loves to play. This is what I'm talking about. The aerial approach, hard for Rog to deal with on a consistent manner, consistent basis.
Stabbing in. He's got another chance. Okay, gives up on the meter. Rather just have the space. And he knows at this point, any of those mediums, if it finds the hit, it's going to do it.
One good hit, one good touch will do it. And I feel like you don't need V-trigger, just the finesse and bless to put him to rest. Brian F with the first one.
He backed off to make Underscore think that there was some space. Came back in, then the shimmy. I really like that sequence from Brian. It's definitely what you do if you're trying to close out moments.
Underscore not out of this just yet. Fishing with the B skill, nobody home. Lights are off. EX plus frames. Underscore real passive right now. This is actually a little bit different than what I've seen, and I kind of like this. That means, at least I hope it means, that he's assessing what is going on. Now finding the hits to go in. Oki corner carry, and this is where Cammy really becomes scammy. That's why you see the V reversal. Get some distance. Not you, it's me kind of thing.
Well, in that one attempt, okay, and again, Brian's right out of there. In the one attempt so far, Underscore really didn't do too much with it. Really roundhouse?
Yes, really.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk about
express yourself.
The timing, yeah.
Express yourself. And that's what makes him so dangerous. You're thinking he's going to do this and that like a typical Cammy player. He's so different. But can you stay solid against Brian F? Brian F has lost a lot of health. It's a one-touch situation. Cammy can find a lot of way in. Anti-air right there, though.
There's the EX. We got
That's what I
it.
was talking about.
Brian. Underscore staying slow. Oh, no, Brian.
The dash in. Not being checked. B-shift punish. EX. One more hit to do it. It's going to be a similar sequence that we saw before. A replay. A rerun. One more hit to get it done.
There is still some V-trigger left. No, Brian F right back in. That in and out was very difficult, you can see, to deal with for Underscore, both in the first round and in the second round. Once it was down to that last situation of only one hit remains,
Right.
you could really tell that Brian was so practiced at finding that last moment.
And that's what separates people from, the mid-tiers to the upper echelons. When you are comfortable, when you've lost health and you're playing like you haven't, like you're still being solid and safe, but you know that you're not out of this game just yet. You know that you're not down just yet. You know that you can still make the comeback. And Brian F at the precipice is on with the first one on the board, already running those dash punches. Let me see the -4. I can't see him right now. -4 up in the chat for the boy.
Pretty early activation here from Underscore. Yep, finds it.
And
now this corner pressure, I really want to see it be strong because the little bit we've seen so far has not been that way.
Exactly. I was just about to say, get the corner pressure going, but Brian F immediately out of there with the dash punches, EX addition. And the V skill extensions allowing for the damage. Brian F is so confident he will find these hits to do it. And that's what's happening. Set point Brian F.
He's made that mid-range uncomfortable. That EX dive range is uncomfortable. Once he has a red bar, he's already shown that he can react with V-shift.
As you said, stay outside that range of the dive kick, dealing with that, and making Underscore have to poke, but not find too much. No big confirms off the crouching medium kicks into Oki. Nice back brainless, though. We ain't thinking with the back medium, I'll tell you that. Underscore, okay, from the back door, not dominoes.
Only the V-skill attempt. Yeah, those knockdowns really need to be where Cammy gets going, and that just has not been the case at all.
Simply how the matchup goes, from not only the aerial approach, but just on the ground.
Okay, look at this range. Brian, he's either in or he's at a range where he feels like he can react.
And same with that V-trigger activation off the Fierce. That's the second time. Denied. Oh, Brian F with the activation.
Underscore's not quite out of this.
Not just yet. But the smooth with the movement, that's Brian F. That's Brian F. You in, I'm having fun. I am having fun. Even when you're fighting Cammy, I'm having fun, says Brian F. As he takes that over Underscore. Honestly, if I'm being real, people, I thought Underscore would be an anti-Brian F in a dope, okay? Because the way that Underscore plays is super wild, but it didn't get started. It was more mild. I feel like Underscore was not in his wheelhouse. Brian F staying away. Outside of this is the dive kick. That's how he usually likes to come through. No conversion with the crouching medium kick into Oki situations. A few anti-airs right there with the back medium / back brainless, but not enough to do the job as Brian F. Stay solid.
Underscore had knockdown situations. He had pressure situations, but when they came up, there was just very little there. That needs to be when she really, really gets things going. Brian F weathered the storm and moves on 2-0, so he'll be in top 8 versus Justa tomorrow. Like I said, I think you're looking at maybe those two, maybe a couple on the other side as well as being some of the real favorites here.
Yeah, I mean, Brian F, Rob, a lot of these players in general, no surprise that we see them in the winner side of things. And the players that have lost, they're not just yet, right? We'll move down to losers later on in the bracket. We'll see how they operate there. And maybe sometimes it's tournament nerves or, again, that upper echelon of play where they know each other so well. It's like Brian F had a plan. He was right. He was like, hey, if you back roll, that was just a part of the whole blueprint that he had laid out in his room. You see he's got the notes everywhere, the blackboard. He's going to switch that up for his next opponent tomorrow. But good stuff to Brian F. Just, man, surgical.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Pretty good at this stuff.
A little bit.
The other side of winners now is what we're headed to, and Rob TV versus Mr. Mad Gear is where we'll start. As you saw in the bracket just a bit ago, the other side of that is also Brutus versus Dap Vip. For Rob and Mad Gear, they come into this, Rob having beaten Spabobin and Ramsey, and Mad Gear having beaten Dual Kevin among other players.
That's wild. And Mad Gear, when I looked on his Twitter, he was a little shaky about things. He had a shaky start yesterday in the tournament that he played. I don't even know which one it was.
Yeah.
There's a million. Shouts to people put on online tournaments, you know what I'm saying? But the ability to come back after having a bad day just shows a lot of mental fortitude to Magier's side, and to beat someone like Dual Kevin, who was starting to get the rust off. He was starting to make big runs in LBC, and to beat someone like that with a character that has been recently nerfed in terms of the anti-air approach and stuff like that, as still strong, but a lot of other people may have put that character to the side. Shouts to Magier to be in his top winner side, top 16. Like, that's ridiculous. So let's take a look at what they're saying.
Rob is crazy good. Hopefully, we can vroom on through this and get this W. Hopefully, we can vroom on through this and get this W, he says. He also says, I am a TO for the Houston scene, and I would be nowhere near here without the love and support from the HFGC and Texas as a whole.
Shout out to them. Shout out to him. Magier actually put on a tournament. Had it's a quick tournament series that he puts on every so often. So again, people committing to the scene and just besides play is real great to see. But let's see what Rob TV has to say. I'm sorry, Hollywood. This dude should have to pay to play me. This is more of an autograph signing than a match. Hold on. Is that okay? Yo, Capcom, is that okay for him to say? Bro, you better not lose. Rob, you got all the confidence. Hollywood. Rob TV.
Can you read this right here? Can you read the other part of what he wants us to know? Can you just read the fact?
He said, in his fact, my hair is cooler than St. Cola's, and anyone who doesn't watch No Neutral is kind of trash. So I agree with the second part.
Okay.
The first part, no. This afro is fire. Let's see how fire this match is. Rob TV, you be eating your words, or is Magier going to room on through?
No surprise in character selection. Like we said, it's really just Abigail for Magier. I haven't seen Rob play Guile in a while at this point. It seems like it's Karen. I think Karen's probably a better choice anyway.
Yeah. I really, this season, like, the V-shift works out for her so well. She's one of those characters that doesn't need V-trigger to win, right? So she can use that V-bar for a multitude of things and not be committed to looking for that, round finish kind of thing with V-trigger activation into, robbery or whatever. She's not about that. Pure neutral right here is what Rob TV is exhibiting as he puts Magier in the corner.
This is really all he's doing. Yeah, he doesn't want to be close. Doesn't want to take that risk even. He just wants to be there for whiff punishing. He just wants to be there for a little bit of harassment. But you can see very, very focused on playing this range. Yeah, the knockdown after that. Right back to exactly where he wants to be, into nothing.
This is not where you want to be, especially as Abigail. 4-framer. You don't have a reversal crush off the feet. This is the second one. Throw tech, though. Magier can get going. V-trigger is the great equalizer for this character. Will it even happen here?
Well, Rob had a couple of predictions that it would come out. There it is, stand short. When Rob did V-shift, he's probably looking for sweep activate, something like that. He did a neutral jump just before that. He was making the reads on that, but Mr. Magier did not give into it.
Not just yet. Could come into play later on. Magier with the jump-ins. Run the medium, try to get that. A little bit too obvious. Already seen that previous seasons ago. In the punish on the V-shift, you've been talking about how he's calling these things out on his side for the V-shift. Now he's calling out Magier's decisions too.
If that had been a roundhouse, maybe a big different story. Magier has fought a little bit out of the corner.
Interruption right here, just jabbing it out. I like this.
No super, okay.
Confident that he can just run this neutral game, and it's still difficult, even with the with the nerfs that have happened to this character. The jump-ins can be real difficult. And speaking of jump-ins, Rob T with the anti-air, max range, the throw. Anti-air side switch, where you going?
Yeah, I think you got to look back to that lack of super. I mean, after that, he is close enough for buttons, not for command grab, right? But at least you have done a ton of damage. At least the neutral situation's a little bit different than before.
A little bit.
I don't know. That seems like an opportunity not quite maximized on. The idea of that otherwise, though, in terms of how the match went, I really liked Rob's predictions. Even when some of that stuff didn't work out, Karen can play around with that V-meter. It's fine. She can spend it on V-shift predictably. It's no big deal. And we did see that from him. I like that.
Go right back into it. I feel like America's really good about dealing with V-shift more than using V-shift. Like, that's kind of our thing, is like, we're really great at predicting. And Karen, the crouch communicate, as you saw right there, is the conversion to catch these moments and stem off that. What did I just say? Call me Miss Cleo and call me right now.
Stun bar's in trouble. Magier, not anymore.
And you see Rob kind of playing around it, like knowing that Magier wants to get going to stave that off, and goes in with the approach. The throw, we're in the rest of the record, in the space trap. Just like that. Rob TV, Hollywood, on set point.
He's looking great, I gotta say. His neutral game's looking fantastic. The few times where there's been pressure against him, he's guessed out of it almost every time.
Right. he has a strong game plan. He trains quite a bit. He's not just a host, or not just a presenter. This dude's out in the trenches.
No doubt, yeah, he's been taking some wins lately anyway. Even aside from this. Maggot, well, at least the side switch. At least that.
At least, but it's not enough. One more hit. I feel like Rob's going to land it. Actually, use all the board at the bottom. Hollywood! Rob TV solidifies his spot.
I just want you all to know at home that not everybody from Hollywood's a jerk. I live in Hollywood for real. I can see the Hollywood sign from my bedroom window.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah, a lot of us are nice people. You know, no, we're not all jerks.
If
that guy out there in the Midwest, though, I don't know about that guy.
The way he plays, you know, you wouldn't know any different. That dude is ridiculous. The template that he runs was so smart after running the rest of the records right there and having the medium punch buffered at that max range, knowing he's going to catch any button that would come out. Yeah. It's a non-committal button, too. Perfect stuff from Rob TV. I got to say, been watching him, you know, obviously winning NLBC and stuff like that on his stream, real serious about the training, and you get to see the results right here, y'all. Moving on in this bracket over Mad Gear, but Mad Gear is not out yet. There's still gas up in the tank, depending on what happens in the loser side of the bracket.
I'll take a look at that later. For now, Brutus comes up versus Dat Vip. So this is one of them that has the biggest geographic range. We're talking about Ontario, Canada, down to Kansas in the U.S. It's pretty far, but hopefully things will be fine. Dat Vip's here after having beaten Magnegro and GLB, and Brutus took out Joey on the way to this moment.
Wow.
Nice work, bud.
Brutus, again, one of those people that didn't really feel like they were like all into it right now. They really feel like they were like, oh, I can do this. I can, you know, do the CPT. But then they get going, and I saw that tweet. He was like, job's not finished. And it ain't. But to be in top 16 winner side of things, small boy, big churn.
Let's hear what they have to say. Move on. We'll actually get to that after a little bit.
Yes, but first, before that, just want to inform you guys that the Intel World Open is happening soon, people. This is going to be a fantastic Street Fighter V regional battles. Y'all can see what's happening on the screen. Look at those beautiful tracksuits right there. We're going to be seeing some of the best competitors around the world go at it to take the title for the region, to be the region's best. And in addition, y'all can make sure that y'all can, you know, celebrate the Intel World Open with us with some in-game rewards if you log in your Street Fighter V account anytime after June 1st. The rewards will be delivered sometime in August. And just to let you know, your boy, St. Cole, is going to be on the mic out there, so you better tune in. You better be there, and you better be prepared for some great Street Fighter V action. Y'all let me know how you feel about that in the chat. Hit me up on, you know, on the socials and stuff like that, and make sure that you are there when it happens next week, or is it 2 weeks? I guess it would be. Listen, time is not a factor to me. And it's like a week and a day and a few other days or whatever. But when Intel happens, come through and come correct.
Also want to give a shout out to PlayStation Tournaments, which is hosting a bunch of Street Fighter V online tournaments. You can head to compete.playstation.com and sign up now. Thanks to them for doing that kind of stuff. They've been doing a lot of great things for all sorts of fighting games. There's a lot of things going on right now. That PlayStation has going on right now. This is absolutely one of them. Please check it out. All right, well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with that Brutus versus Dat Vip match in a little bit.
You shouldn't only admire my work, but also concentrate a little more on your lessons, Mana. You must be careful. Soul Satellite! grasp the meaning of fate, you shall know. It's your destiny. Soul powers nature. Fate or a fault! You should try to learn to use your power a little better.
We're back in Burbank, California, watching folks out in the Midwest of North America play Street Fighter V. We've gotten through a few of these winner's side matchups at the start, and now the last one, just to outright decide who makes the top 8, will be Brutus and Dap Vip. What's going on, man?
You know, it's your boy St. Cola out here watching my friends. I guess some will be foes. We'll look at Just a Kid. But watching everyone slug it out in this great, beautiful Street Fighter V top level action. Shouts to St. Cola. Shout out to
St. Cola.
Yo, shouts to me. Yo, shouts to me being able to come through. But no, on some real stuff. Shouts to Capcom, I meant to say, for giving the Midwest its shine that they deserve, plus more. You know, it's not just Midwest, it's a lot of other players. So we're actually going to see up here, if we look on the bracket, we got Dap Vip and Brutus hailing from Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from Ontario. From specifically, because I wrote it down, Whitby, Ontario.
Whitby.
That's right. That's right. So looking for the big boys out of Brutus. It's going to be Geef, maybe Abigail, and Dap Vip's side. Probably Cammy. That's all I've seen him play.
Yeah. That's unfortunate for Brutus. We'll just look at the quotes. He'll let you know what he thinks about Cammy.
I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made, as they are being made, we shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our northern home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny that is Cammy White.
My man hit the government of the character's name? That's how you feel? Brutus, you wrote a whole thesis. Hopefully you can, write one after if you take this victory. But we'll see what Dap Vip has to say. Oh, just happy to be here. I'm going to play my best no matter what. Look at that man smiling. You would never know he's a Cammy player. You would have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who was playing X-23 back in Marvel. That's a big smile right there. For sure. He's been a strong player for many, many years. Mm-hmm. Cool to see him in this situation up here with a chance to make the top 8 outright. And for Brutus, Brutus has made deep runs in tournaments in the past, including in some big ones. I'm very curious to see which of the characters he lines up here with, as we're about to see. It's loading in. You guys will find out shortly.
I'm really curious, too, because Abigail used to kind of be, like, discussed, right? Like, it's maybe in Abigail's favor.
Right.
Maybe not, right?
Right.
But the issue is now is the aerial approach being denied by that character. You don't get the anti-air.
Makes sense.
But the damage. That character breaks, that character melts. And you do have a lot of opportunities for that to happen. You know, armor breaking things like that could come into your potential favor. Let's see what happens. Brutus, that VIP.
Yeah, he can still play a really competent neutral game against Cammy for sure. Some preemptive denials is part of what you're seeing with that stand jab, even crouching jab.
That's also with the parry, too, as well. Like, we're talking about preemptive forward heavy punch, crouching heavy punch, all preemptive things. But, again, they have to be preemptive. They're not just easy, you know, bake oven tools. Like, well, never mind. I guess if you angle it just right.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, his jab is up there in the sky for sure. The trade. Not what either one. Now, we have not seen him check. Okay, tap VIP. Brutus just wanted to get out of it. I think that's about him just denying activation point. Well, not for long.
How long can you deny the inevitable, David? When it comes to Cammy, she's going to come through. But lost so much health in the process of that. And you see just a lot of pokes from Brutus definitely ending out in his favor. We saw the trade before. That's a big boy. Even with the health nerf that happened to him, he can still take quite a few hits.
Okay, finding it. The V-trigger's gone, but that's fine. Here's that VIP partying on his way in.
Nice jump away. But that VIP, got to do a lot more. 20 seconds on the clock, winding down.
Well, he's got that super. I mean, that is something he can use on reaction. Wow, okay, then Brutus finding the hit.
Not necessary. Stays solid. And Brutus, going into this next round with the bar, I mean, we could, you know, it's great to have that as a, you know, knockdown situation.
Nice.
No,
he was too far. That does work from really far, but wow.
Oh, why does that happen to me when I play online? But Brutus, it whiffs from a mile away. Unfortunate, waste all that bar, and he was saving that for a knockdown situation and the setup for more, but still staying solid. Other people would have broke down. Brutus still going with the poking game, not changing his template too much.
No, in fact, his game looks almost exactly the same. He's pressing buttons at similar times over and over again. We haven't seen DatVip challenge them very often. Nor, okay, great hit confirmed. Nor has DatVip challenged the Giant Flip, which has come there for plus frames several times without being hit.
There's the throw. But not much more, though. Again, DatVip not finding me things off these situations. All right, he's going to get some corner carry off the knees to crush on the wake up. DatVip trying to put him back to sleep.
Brutus in big trouble.
Where things get real dicey. Oh, so much health in these exchanges. No counter hit.
He could find, I was just going to say, sweep activate. He brings in the EX grab. That's about half her life gone. It's more than that.
DatVip decides to block it out and just jump back. Stay solid. Oh, but you can't do things like that raw. DatVip with the reactions. That's a Marvel player right there.
Did he just whiff punch the medium with the thing? What? Come on. Come on.
You got those enhanced things from Marvel. Everything's going about 300 million miles a second. This is easy street. Crush though, off the feet. Back fist. Oh, and the EX. Off against the wall. Stun is rising.
DatVip's out of there, but he still has a lot of work to do. Now, that activation can come. See Brutus trying to keep that range. Oh, really? Nice. He's going to get a good knockdown in this, and next hit could be for the... Well, hold on.
Challenging on these wake-ups. There's the back throw. I don't know what he did with EX, but it's off the table for a little bit. Brutus in V-trigger range. So is DatVip, too. There it is. Ooh! It's a small boy, but it's a big turn. It's a big turn.
I like the idea because he had just threatened with EX grab, of course. I mean, it had worked in the previous round.
Right.
And they did make run into punch super unsafe.
Yeah.
Super unsafe. But he had the V-trigger going, so that's totally fine. So I like that idea a lot. Just a variation on what he went with at the beginning, at the end of the first round.
Brutus setting up his game plan too with the lights and the mediums, and then running the heavy punch at max range so he's not getting got is actually just benefiting him, and DatVip not getting too much going in these situations too. Like, I feel like DatVip started to find a handle. We saw the reactions before, but is it enough? Nice cancellation right there from Brutus to stay solid.
Amazing, honestly, that he can get that whiff punish. We've seen it twice now. So super funky that he is letting all these Giant Flips go without challenging, because the reactions clearly are there.
Right. You see, like, even the back medium would be great in that situation.
Sure.
You deny the flips, or just especially a DP. Try to come through the skies, no surprise. Brutus, though, with the anti-airs. And even the walk in the corner, still feeling comfortable as he finds a confirm into EX.
Very nice, very nice. Walk forward just a little bit. As you could tell, that Bip was trying to look for that down Fearsome to activate. Brutus is at match point.
This is looking real quick. A lot of our fights actually today have been super quick. But it's just about solid game plan from the winner. Let me see if Dapit can show something different. Running things raw out here, uncooked, with no anti-air. David, that's what we're talking about.
Couple of big errors there, unfortunately. Get Dapip's back in. Showing those reactions on his way in. And now that he's got the life lead, this may be one of the first times in the set that he's had the life lead. I'm curious whether he plays differently. So far, no.
No, my man just did the spiral arrow again. EX, side switch, there's a throw. So we need to see something better up in terms of corner pressure, but this is where all goes away. Abigail punch with the Metro Crash Extender, of course.
Okay, it just cashes out on that. A little bit more work even still.
He can still take this. This
Brutus
is still
a big threat for sure.
Yeah, he can still definitely take this, even though there is chip on the. It don't matter. Just a crouching mini kick to do it. That bit, as you were pointing out, and I'm starting to see this, plays a lot more solid when he's got that life lead. He's like more comfortable.
I think that may be the first Fierce that we've seen buffered at that range, and he's got the knockdown because of it. As this goes on, his neutral game looks stronger and stronger. The whiff punishes have come more. Even a challenge there. This is important to see as well. So we're seeing whiff punishes consistently now. Oh.
That's what we wanted to see before. Is it too late, though? Brutus on that set point still. Runs the EX after the lights. The Abigail punch. Trying to push Dapip to the corner and run that nice pecking away game. Just poking away, pecking away. Keeping that lead on his side.
There it is with the anti-air, the big anti-air too. Dapip blocking it out, back to neutral. Why not? His neutral's been really, really strong.
V-Trigger will definitely help that out. Plus frames if he finds a way in. And again, you got to get predictive to deny that approach. Those dive kicks get even stronger in V-Trigger. But the confirms from that small boy big turn. Brutus! One more hit to do it. The challenge though from Dapip and the DP and the Super CA. We're going to be seeing some more action. Dapip.
His battle back has been amazing so far. There was a point at the beginning of that game when I was like in my head.
Yeah, this might be it.
You were talking about how each of the matches we've seen so far has been on blow up so far. You were even giving voice to this idea.
I was about to.
And in that last couple rounds, boy, Dapip, the whiff punishing with that drill. Amazing. And to show that, he's had that against medium punch, he's had that against back fierce.
Right.
A couple times. He's challenging against giant flips. He's had the whip punish as he tried there with the fierce. There's the challenge as well.
That's what we want to see.
As this goes on, he gets better and better.
Is it a matter of rust? Is it a matter of, getting into gear? We're going to see final game right here between Dapip and Brutus. But can Brutus do something different? I feel like the poking game doesn't really work out when Dapip is playing lane. When he's able to have that lead and have those whip punishes that we've been seeing, deny that approach like that. DP right there against the anti-air is looking difficult.
Well, there is maybe a little bit more intense idea of that Brutus moves the opponent to the other side. It's still... He's accomplishing it by poking, but you can tell, I think, that he's not just backing off. He is moving forward. For a while, his neutral was more about mid-range.
Nice air-to-air right there.
Yeah. Ah, maybe he's found a button to bait. We'll see if he can play with that as this goes on.
Cammy, not one that's super healthy. Side switch, though. Here we go. Can Brutus weather the storm of Scammy Cammy out here as he pokes away? He's doing good right now.
He's given a lot of hurt boxes, though, for that Dapip to whiff punish.
Especially this season. You got to be careful with those. Oh, the timing that he has. The template and the timing that he's got with the buttons makes it perfect. Oh, I'm going to throw out the light, and then I'm going to give it a little stagger step with it. And that puts him at set point again.
We've seen this opening before. Dapip's there with the answer and the side switch.
The back medium doing work out here. Big shift away. Does it raw. Works out. EX, a lot more aggression. This is where she lives. This is how she wins.
Could have had the stun.
Duh. Don't let it go away. Not against Abigail, especially when that V-Trigger is building up almost for the stun and done.
Amazing stuff right now by DatFib. That was the best offense that we've seen from him, too. A lot of his success so far has been neutral-based. Right there, it was neutral into fantastic offense. We're at match point now for both. One of them makes top 8.
We're just trying to do this for the anti-scammy cammy people out here. DatFib just doing it for the marbles. EX, right? The tippy toes. There you go. There's the throw.
So he just waltzed all the way in.
The confidence that he has in his neutral, and that's putting Brutus off his game.
Oh, yeah.
It's just denying a lot of these folks that he wants to do.
Big time right now. You can see that Brutus has been kind of harried into not doing too much.
It's going to all turn around. We've talked about this before. As an Abigail player, you definitely want to spin that CA, get yourself in the lead, and then continue on from there, especially when you've got B-Trigger to back you up to watch your 6.
Yeah, it's close. If he gets hit once more, if he blocks a couple things. It's not quite so close. It's so close for him to be able to activate.
If you just block out a few more hits. Careful with the aggression, giving DatFib room to play and whip punch as we've seen before. But again, the stagger step, there's the activation though. The reversal not denied.
He tried to get the run armor through.
The idea, just not the application.
I think that's what he was looking for.
Oh, the confirm from DatFib off the crouching meaty kick. He win it. DatFib will be taking down Brutus and moving on in the bracket.
Again, that reversal was so complete. It really seemed for a little bit that Brutus was about to march on through.
I really thought it. I thought this was over. I'm sorry. I was like, in my mind, mentally already done.
Yeah.
But DatFib stayed solid. If you've been playing a game where you're getting pieced up constantly, where you melt after a few hits, you're at home playing Cammy against Abigail. You're at home with, I have to aggress or be aggressed. You know what I'm saying? You are at home. And you're at home in top 8, you know what I'm saying? Like, as we look at this bracket here, Brutus not out just yet, but DatFib moving on in top 8 tomorrow. We've seen him play against Rob TV. Oh, man.
The thing that impressed me most for sure was the whiff punishing consistently with drill. 7-frame drill, it's super fast, it's great, but you very rarely see it used in that way. Even, look, Cammy's had a fantastic CPT already. Right. It's already won a few of them, in fact. But we haven't seen it used in that way as consistently as DatFib did. So hats off to him. Fantastic play. All right, we're taking a look now at the loser's side of this top 16. Now, in these positions, players will have to win twice in order to make top 8.
Oof. Oh, man. So this means loser side of things, we're zipping up some body bags. And the first one we'll start with is Joe Umi Rogan versus Toplin. Now, Joe Umi Rogan, a Canadian Akuma player who's been doing work in Digital Havoc. I've been seeing him go through Casa, even made a couple of top 8s in NLBC. Strong Akuma competitor, has a Ryu on the side when he wants to. But Toplin, not a person I've seen so consistently, but definitely defeated some strong players out here to make it through this bracket. And as a Fang player, if you're playing that character, you've probably been playing them for years, but I think you had looked at the information that this was his first fighting game that he had played. How was this your first fighting game or that you've gotten into, I guess?
Yeah, no, you're right. He says, this is my first fighting game, started when Arcade Edition came out. So impressive, not even first fighting game in the sense that he started 5 years ago or whenever SF5 came out, but instead came out in Arcade Edition only a couple years ago.
As a Fang player.
As a Fang player.
You look at this and you're like, I want to just pick up a character, I want to pick Fang. That's wild to me. And you do work like this?
I mean, that's pretty cool, I think.
That's
Fang is a blast to watch. I'm always happy to see a Fang up here in top 16 yet again, as we had in NA West, too, which is great to see for that character. Let's hear what they have to say.
All right. I'll try to make my Fang boys proud. So doing it for the Poison boys out here. Toplin says, but let's see what Joe Umi Rogan has to say.
I'll make it quick.
For whose side?
Yeah, exactly.
Joe,
You're going to get dumped? What do you mean?
Do you have Uber Eats knocking at your door and you got something to do?
Have some faith in yourself. You think you're going to get smoked that badly? Come on,
buddy. What if
he
needs it for the other way, though? He's going to smoke them.
I think that probably is what he's trying to say. Joe has already beaten Squall, Jewel Man, Shade Prince. He lost to Sabo. Guess what? He then beat Sabo in the run back in order to make top 16s. That's always got a great feeling to it.
Yeah.
And Toplin lost to Just a Kid and then beat a bunch of other players, including Broly Legs, to make it into top 16.
I watched that match. That was down to the wire. So, shout outs to him to really show out. And again, another player that I've seen a lot of in tournaments and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see how he works out here. When it comes to CPT, things are a little bit different. A lot on the line to have that first spot on the dot, people. The first spot for the CPT finals coming up next year. I mean, this, oh man, it's a lot to worry about, but to have that progression, starting from Arcade Edition to now, I've been playing this game since it came out. You don't see me in
I'm not in top 16.
You don't see me in the top 16. I'll tell you that. But that's major work right there. So excited to see this match. This is going to be a wily one because, on paper, Akuma's got a lot of tools to deal with a lot of the approach that Fang wants to do in terms of the fireballs and stuff like that. He's got many ways over the clouds and things like that. Fireball game's pretty dang good, Red Fireball, but it's still wily though because Fang is that kind of character.
Yeah, I think you can't discount Fang's mobility in this kind of matchup. A character who has both ground and air mobility. That's unusual, certainly, but can definitely be helpful. Yeah, as he floats his way in.
Yes, sir.
Akuma, no surprise. Joe Umerogan does want you to know that he's Tokido's biggest fan.
Oh, okay. That might be debatable.
I mean, there's a lot of people in the running for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
about
a popular position.
Let me see what you got in your closet. You got some dolls and stuff made up. Let's see. Anyway, let's see what Joe Umerogan does. Already got the poison applied to him. He's going to be super careful. In this match, you definitely don't want to have any poison applied. The lowest health character in the game, you have to be careful.
Woo. He's applying a ton of plus frames as well. Okay, so Joe trying it out with the air fireball does connect.
Takes back his turn. Toplin in prime position to take this. This is where he's comfortable at. Having the health lead. EX gets a knockdown and running the poison cloud just to cover the approach.
Joe, the sweep to get into it. Toplin has V-Trigger 1, interestingly. And then the grab, first time we had seen plus frame button, cower crouch into kick, yada yada. No grabs. There finally it was.
And most of that was done by the poison. So Joe has to recognize, I cannot get hit with the poison. I have to stay away from this plus lean right here. But this is how things start. And this is why we see EX right over those balls.
Predicting a fireball, maybe?
Possibly.
He crabs out of there. And now Toplin's got the corner with a character who has really, really dangerous corner mix-ups if you can get him going. Actually like that Joe got hit by that to dissuade any kind of cross-up shenanigans.
Could have been worse. You take the better of these situations right here. Medium kick, no hit though. Gotta confirm.
No, he didn't get it. Oh, this is a huge opportunity, and Joe's just gonna seal the deal.
With the super, the CA, Joe staying solid, and he had already made a drop. I like how he was like, I'm not the next one, not me, not today. I'm trying to get through this bracket. He said, I'm gonna make it quick. That's one way to play. But without Bard, when you begin the round, you gotta wait for that to build up to come through against some of these poison balls. So that may be a pain point. You see, he tries to jump in. The anti-is right there from Toplin.
Oh, this is actually may kill.
He's dead.
No, he's gonna go for a mix-up.
Oh,
maybe he knows better than me.
Anti right there. EXDP, the wait and bait, reel in its damage. Toplin with the first one.
Yeah, beautiful. I love how consistent his pressure approach was. He tried out the command dash one time predictively.
Yeah.
And, well, he did it a couple times, but one time it was punished. And after that, he didn't go back to it again. It was just the absolute consistent walk forward, down medium kick if the opponent jumps. If not, medium punch, coward crouch kick, whatever it may be, to just apply very safe plus frames, in fact, pressure.
That's what you want to do. You don't want to give too much room to Akuma. One good knockdown means you as a four-framer and no reversal, you got a whole lot of pressure, and that's where Akuma lives. And he stayed so solid in those situations. And I also feel like if you're Umerogan, the poison being applied, something you have to work around, which I feel like is, maybe he's not used to that all the way, where as soon as he got poisoned the first time, he was just like, it's whatever, I'll get in eventually. But then you wait too long and your health is just gone.
Especially with that playstyle that we're seeing out of Toplin, who is not just poisoning, but then building up gray life, a lot of gray life that he ends up capitalizing on. So it sounded to me like we went back to the menu. I'm curious whether we're going to see a character switch over to Ryu's. We know that is a possibility.
It could be. As we load into this screen, it's Akuma all dang day, baby. You see he's going to make it quick. I hope it's not, hope it's in benefit of him. I'm trying to see some more games, trying to see some more action out here. But Toplin has such a strong strategy, a strong base to deal with. Trying to find answers against a poison cloud, that was not the one. Too far out in the distance.
Again, now we have seen Toplin applying, again, just consistently applying fantastic pressure. Still a ton of gray. Look at the gray. Look at that gray. Oh my God. The jab was for 200 damage.
All right, here's the activation, though. This could be the turnaround, but you got to play your cards right. Finds the medium. Oh, the DP cross cut just to get the chase down.
That was actually super sick.
Yeah, that was.
I love it.
I don't know if that was supposed to be a fireball, but you know what? I'm going to hold it to him for the DP. But the confirms are lacking. Finds a fireball, though. Double time to do it fine. DP into super. This won't kill, but it will put him in prime position to take it. Stake the stake in the corner.
Have not yet seen Big Trigger activation. That's the threat. Again, that's the threat. Great block.
Oh, this is the 3-time with the sweep off the feet.
When those 2 red bars are blinking, you gotta watch your leg versus Fang. You know he's bringing out sweep.
Creasing up the Yeezys. Toppling on set point. And he said, yo, you want to make it quick? I'll make it quick for you right now. But Joe, here's the comeback. The knockdown off the heavy kick, Tatsu, and the throw as well. Oh, and the crush at the distance. The right stuff.
Buddy, oh no, a drop. And now just like that, he's cornered. Toplin's been there. We've seen how strong and finally he goes for a cross-up situation.
Toplin with the mix. Sweep off the feet. Oh, is this man a bartender? Because all I'm seeing is mix. In the Super CA, he said, I'll make it quick. Toplin said, I'll make it quick. You want to make this quick? I'll make it quick, Joe. Go ahead and go get your delivery, buddy. Go ahead and go get your delivery. That's what Toplin said. But I'll tell you one thing. Toplin, I've never seen this dude in a bracket in terms of like online tournaments, whatever. I need to see you more. Working against someone like Joe Umirogan, man, this dude's style is ridiculous. I'm you know, Fang is one of those characters that you have to really immerse yourself in that character. Mm-hmm. And you could tell he's all in.
Yeah. But, you know, it wasn't even really about the big tricks that Fang can do.
Right,
Fang's got really tricky, crazy stuff. That wasn't really what it was. We saw that cross-up in the end, finally. But other than that, it was basically just very solid anti-airs. It was basically just very solid safe or plus frames pressure. Mm-hmm. And other than that, he didn't really take risks. Yeah. And it worked fantastically. I love it. Again, as we were saying before, Toplin says, this is my first fighting game. Started when Arcade Edition came out.
Oh, man, that's so wild. And look at where he's at right now. Moving on the bracket, this top 16. But shout out to Joe Umirogan coming through. Definitely been seeing a lot of work from him. And to be honest, I'm not even shocked that he was in top 16 at all. Like, I'm not even shocked. Sure. Super great Akuma player. Just a few drops away from solidifying himself and finding that balance, but just didn't have it. So we'll be moving on.
Hats off, for sure. But as you said, we are going to be moving on. We're going to be moving on. In fact, we have Kendricks versus Destructive coming up next. The winner of this will play against Mr. Madgear, just so you're aware. Okay. Kendricks lost to Brian F. Okay. Yeah. And beat L2P Hitman in order to make it into the top 16. Destructive lost to Underscore, okay? Double eliminated Safe. Nice work. The guys were introducing, if you guys watched the Brian and Rob intro to this, they talked specifically about Safe, a player who they thought was going to go far. Well, negative. Thanks to Destructive. Destructive then beat LES as well. So, I mean, already has had a good day.
Right. He's had a great day. I mean, he's honestly one of those players that maybe people are starting to recognize. He's on the rise. You know, he's kind of called the governor of Texas because he's been taking some names out there. You know, he's been taking some souls in some money matches, you know. But he didn't want to enter. But again, he's one of those players where he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just come through. Top 16, loser side of CPT, baby. Could make it further. Let's get a hold of these quotes that they got to say.
I'm here for all the clawmains. Let's have a good game. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, Kendricks. By the way, Kendricks also said, this is my first fighting game. Oh, man.
Doesn't matter where you start or when you start, as long as you put in the time and effort. And these people are proof of that. Now let's get my boy Destructive on the screen. What's he saying? I'm not blocking.
Just laying it all out there. Giving the strategy away like that. I hope Kendricks isn't watching. He's just going to know. He's going to know what to do.
I love Destructive. I love his play style because when you play against him, he's one of those players where it's like, oh, this is free because the way that he operates is so different. He definitely has that side where you might think he's not blocking. He's just collecting data. And then he shoots up. And if you watch any of the millions of top 10s that he gets involved in, or millions of top 10s, at first attempts, I should say, and money matches and stuff, it kind of seems like that, oh, he's getting washed, and then he just smokes him. He's a smart player. Don't let his neutral tell you anything different. That's why he's in top 16 against Kendricks. As he's going to be moving on in the bracket. Fireballs off the start with that Ignite Thunder from Destructive.
I like Kendricks' style so far. It's very cautious. He reacted with the jump earlier, which is great to see, taking advantage a little bit, but not overextending.
You really don't need to. You really don't want to either.
Totally.
One good crush just gives Urian the advantage and falls to the fireball. Unfortunate when you charge it up, hard to deal with.
Ooh, boy, Kendricks, no challenge.
He's doing it for free.
Plus frame when you hold it.
Mm-hmm. Nice and easy with the poke game, the clawed version right here. Nice air-to-air to deny the EX knees.
Kendrick's convinced to jump, I think, but oh no! Will he spend? Yes.
Trying to shimmy, no go. Here's the activation, enforcing the mix. This is the block though. Kendrick, solid play and just hold him back. Down back for the down back. Don't have to do anything different. But there's the back throw, air to air. Look at this defense.
Very consistent. Yeah, looking fantastic right here. Okay, the mirror comes out the grab. It's good for Destructive. With punish, but not canceled.
Uh-oh. And the wake up. Hold on.
You did a V reversal? What do you think that was? I don't know, buddy, but it worked out.
Hey, Destructive said he wasn't blocking. You know, you play to that advantage. There you go, Kendrick, with the first one.
And right back to a very, very similar style of Kendrick holding onto this mid-range, reactive to jumps well, almost. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's difficult because you got to get predictive with it, right? Even air-to-air with the jab doesn't net you that big of a reward, and there's so many aerial approaches from this character, and the ground approach is strong too. The Gorilla, EX, and the trade definitely in favor of Yuri, and there's a stun, it's done. The Batista Bomb. I told y'all, what did I say?
Yeah.
The first round, a little shaky. But then as things go on, he just gathers data and uses it so well. That's why he's a top Urian player that people just do not know.
Little too far. He wanted the big stuff. Here's another chance, though. Kendricks is here with the setup. No anti-air either. He's got full super, and Vega, if he gets the right thing, can be big damage. It's a big if.
Trying to fade through the fireballs. And just trying to poke away, but Destructive just waiting for those moments to bust out or get the knockdown. And so much mental stack, and that's not gonna hit. Dash up, crouch fierce. Living up to the name.
Okay, Kendricks. Very cautious. He's just out of there.
Staying solid.
But you know that V-Trigger 1 is all Destructive's thinking about right now. How I'm gonna get that going.
And the EX tackle being stronger this season because it leaves you closer. Makes that V-Trigger 1 stronger, but he goes for the crouching medium kick to hit to do it. Nice and easy mix right here. Not even a mix, just confirm.
Okay, he's gonna get a combo here. No!
So it's corner position though, but the V-Trigger means Kendricks can get out of the situation if he needs to. Nice check! Or he can use it as an extension. EX, the Barcelona.
Oh! Waltz up there for the grab. Destructive may have been blocking. May have been blocking at the end right there. That's...
Why are you deviating from your plan?
I'm telling you, he's got a strategy. Let's see if he can make a strategy work out in the next one. It's still first to two.
Yeah, I feel like there's not too much off these V-Trigger situations. Like, we saw the drop off the mirror in the second one. That might have been it. But can you stay solid and not putting out these minus frames that have been punished? Like Kendricks, though new, you can see that he knows the frame data. He's went to the fat data. He was like, okay, that's minus. Let me get a punish. Like, just like that. He knows sweeps are punishable. Don't matter how long you've been in the game. You know that for sure. Kendrick with these punishes is adding up on damage against Destructive.
A little bit better mix-up in timing from Fireballs here so far for Destructive. And he's going to get the corner.
There's a throw.
Here he is. Kendrick's out of there.
Perfect interruption right here. Side switch too.
Right back to the same neutral game where Kendricks has had control.
I like how some of these resources are wasted. When you get these jump back jabs, like you don't get much off of them, right? But the resources are off the table that maybe less you have to deal with for just a little bit.
Ooh, boy. One of those red bars gone.
Falls off though.
super funky. Destructive, not quite there. He needed that hit. The combo had a chance. Kendricks with that full bar is a big threat at the moment.
Yeah, even without call, still strong, but there's a Batista bomb for the finish. Destructive. Staying a little bit more solid. I feel like the neutral game is a little bit stronger. Just has to clean up a few more hits, especially when we saw that funky interaction before.
Ooh, it was a very late throw tech that turned into a throw because Destructive has dashed forward into no buttons a couple of times.
Max range on the quarrel kick, but Kendricks, he's a vegetarian. He won't no beef. And I like these ranges that Kendrick plays at. Maybe not that one, but I was going to say to interrupt the fireball pressure that we had seen before. That's been stopping a lot of that, but Destructive says, I'm going through the skies. No surprise. I'm going to have these EX news for you.
First double fireball in this game. He had a bunch of this in game number 1. Here's Kendricks with the bumper.
There's a throw. Look at this range.
Would love that to be. Did he get there? No, okay.
Too far out. I love the idea, but it's the wrong execution.
Woo!
And fades on through, doesn't get the hit, but still caught in the corner. And that bar at the bottom is building.
Lovely solution from Kendricks. We've seen a ton of fireballs, to be fair, out of Destructive, and Kendricks now is maybe looking for them a little bit more. We'll see as this goes on. He's at match point, of course.
I feel like he's getting real predictive, especially when the claw is placed on to stop some of that fireball approach. And some of these normals just in general too. Nice, wake up buttons right here from Destructive, putting a claw up in the corner. Goes low, trying to find some hits. But we need to see more off these exchanges. We've seen a few hits here and there for Destructive, but not a lot. I'm trying to see more conversions. I'm trying to see big boy damage.
Delay, but instead it was backdash from Destructive.
Reversal. Destructive still has the lead.
But really, it could end quickly. He'd love to get that claw back. Oh, nice. Trigger, yeah. How much are you going to spend? Keeps the super.
Caught low. Might be one good hit, especially with the Great Life at the top. Destructive going in with the EX. And has not built enough bar.
Kendricks is absolutely looking for buffer into super.
What a way to, what would we like to finish like just one good super sequence right there, V-shift. Destructive using the V-bar to V-shift away.
Destructive only needs one more hit. Kendricks trying to thread the needle. He wants to find one hit, and he got a huge jump in. He's going to do it. Oh, no, the huge jump in connects. The only big jump in of the set was at the very end, and it came for Kendricks, and he's going to move on, eliminating Destructive.
That was ridiculous. I got to give big credit to someone who's not been playing that long. That is, wow. And you can see how he dominated the ground just by having the threat of super, or like, I'm going to buffer into something into super. You're going to get got. But then he's like, wait a minute. If you're thinking about the ground game, your mental focus is there. So what if I jump on you? And just like that, Kendricks staying solid and Destructive, not finding enough hits to do it, is unfortunately out of there. But good stuff to him again. Premier Urian player, y'all got to be putting your eyes on. But Kendricks, hey, I can't wait to see that dude come through in a lot more tournaments. Already moving through this top 16. Gonna have to fight Mad Gear later on.
Hey, taking a look right there at the loser side. So we have 2 more round 1 losers matches. Ramsey and Dual Kevin, and Joey and Magnegro. Okay.
So that means a lot of great action. I really can't wait until we see Ramsey and Dual Kevin. But people, it's gonna be a little bit. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back. But even before that, I want to remind y'all to go get on that PlayStation tournaments that have been going on. Shout out to PlayStation and shout out to Sony, I should say, for putting on those fantastic tournaments to give us more places to play as we lead into EVO. And it's going to be like some preliminary tournaments. So make sure you guys are signing up and doing that soon. And y'all could do that during this short break that we're going to take. When we come back, Ramsey versus Dual Kevin. Don't go anywhere, because I'll know.
Can't start the show without star.
Main event!
Light it up. What a power to the earth.
See what I'm really made
Pleased to meet you.
The honor was mine.
settle this.
I'm shaking here.
Bow down before my psycho power.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Midwest. No, I'm sorry, Mid-Best CPT Top 16. And listen, a lot of y'all might think here that it's scripted. It's, maybe we've had these pre-planned or whatever. This is freshly delivered to your TV screen. Let me see here. Salt Mine, I see you. Toshin, Zaku3, Ivan, all of you, I see you on the chat, all right? How about that? This is fresh. We don't make this from, preservatives. It's all fresh and free, baby. As we go through this top 16, we're about to see who's free in the loser side of things. My name is St. Cola. I'm joined with Ultra David. How are you doing, dog? And how are you feeling about these matches coming up on the screen?
Fresh, just like that deep dish pizza.
Yes, sir.
By the way, not just Chicago deep dish. They have really good other local pizza in Chicago. You know, the deep dish gets a lot of rep, but there's other good stuff there. Shout outs also to other Midwest pizzas. I've had St. Louis pizza, legit. I've had Detroit pizza, very good also.
Yeah.
In conclusion, let's talk about Ramsey versus Dual Kevin coming up next. Again, Joey versus Magneto will be the last of these round one losers side matches. This is going to be a fun one. We have Dual Kevin, who everybody knows, one of the absolute greatest Marvel players, and also has been a very top-level Street Fighter V player, having done great in SFL and all sorts of events.
Yeah, I mean...
And so far today, he lost to Mad Gear, since beat Alpha B on his run back into this top 16. Ramsey lost to Rob TV, then beat Misocrats in order to qualify for top 16.
So, decent runs by both of them. And for them to see each other again is another, friend battle, frenemy battle, I guess it would be. You know what I'm saying? As you said before, Dual Kevin has made many top 8s, top 8 at CEO, as you saw before in the pre-show. But Ramsey himself, aka used to go by the name of Random High Fives, has made some top level placings himself. He almost made a top 8, if I remember correctly, at a CPT years ago. I think it was First Attack, I believe. Ramsey able to hit me on that one. But he's been great. He just needs that drive. And again, having a CPT like this, focusing on the Midwest, saying, hey, we got some tournaments for you, is one way to do it. And that's, again, why you see him top 16. But going against Dual Kevin is going to be difficult. Let's see the quotes from these players.
Ramsey has always been one of the Midwest players that I had a lot of faith in. He doesn't get his chance to shine a lot, but I know how strong of a player he is and can continue to be. Shout-outs to Kevin. Positivity there, looking good.
He's the nicest dude in the universe, but when you play him, you hate him. Let's talk about our friend Ramsey out here and what he's got going on. Nobody likes Honda or Geef, so I'm sure everyone is rooting against me. LOL. Well, guess what, Ramsey? You're dang right. Except for one person.
Can we talk about the world's only other Honda Zangief player right here, baby? Happy to be on the mic for Honda or Zangief. Either way, I'll have a good time.
I mean, you know what? Actually, it's fun to watch with those characters. It's
sure
not fun
is.
to play against them, especially one as good as Ramsey, because this dude, he's a turtle-based player. And when you play a character like Honda, that makes it even more annoying to fight against him, to try to get through. It's a pure struggle. And then every hit he does is a million damage. You definitely don't want to fight someone like Ramsey. And if he goes Geef, he's really good about the reads. He's been doing this for however many years that Geef has been nerfed. So, thank you, Capcom. Thank you. Appreciate that. Keep it going. Keep up the good work.
All right, which character do we have? I'm curious. It is Honda. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Okay.
I feel that this character, I'm a little bit biased. I feel that this character is one of the most expressive in Street Fighter V. You get to do what you want to do as Honda.
Oh
you get
my
to
gosh.
do you want to play lame and defensively? This is your man. Do you want to be absolute wildman? Barbarian? This is your man. And anything in between. I feel like you can really show yourself with Honda.
That's right. If you want to smooth out the brain, you got Honda.
That's right.
But at the same time, jokes aside, high level, way different to deal with. But Ramsey, no stranger to the danger that is Rashid. I think Rashid does really well against Honda. I think he stops a lot of the approach that Honda wants to do. The anti-situation is really good for him. The pressure situation is going to be good. And that corner carry where Honda definitely suffers and suffocates in is going to that situation too. But can that happen in this match?
I mean, that said, I do feel that Honda shuts down some of what Rashid likes to do. I think this is one of those matchups where neither character gets to do all the stuff that they like to do.
Right.
And you kind of do see that on the approach here for Dual Kevin, the way he's moved in. It's been very grounded. He's been pretty slow about it. He's not taking big risks. Okay, could have been EX, but
not ready for it. Quick sweep. Like Ramsey fighting out of the corner. He doesn't want to be there. That's a lose condition for him, for sure.
Ooh. This got a kind of a funky range. I love it. Out of there.
This is a break. EX. The butt slam. And I feel like this match has gone on a lot shorter. The time is showing us 20 seconds on the clock. Lane play. Actually, I should say Dual Kevin also is a super lane player.
Yeah.
If we're talking about lane play, he's one of those Rashid players that really slows things down, but it's not into his favor against someone like Ramsey right now.
He's running out of time. I love the V-shift to just get away. Yeah, even grab. It absolutely doesn't matter at this point. I don't think there's any way to make it happen.
Hit me. Give me meter. Give me meter for next round. Go ahead.
Did you see the expression, the self-expression of that style of Honda right there?
Gosh, if I wasn't on commentary, I'd have some things to say, but I'm going to keep it professional. Anyway, Ramsey finds the hits off the hands, and he's got full bar to work with, too. That's where this character becomes super dangerous.
Dual Kevin with a good knockdown into the corner. We've been here before, and Ramsey did fight out. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Sometimes you got to do non-invulnerable 7-frame jab hands.
If you're not getting checked, no reason to stop. B skill stock up. B reversal to deny the V trigger. No twister here.
Yeah, the use of V-meter I think has been really good for Ramsey so far. He's got a life lead again, and he's already shown that he's totally cool with playing it slow, cautious, never a jump in, not overextending on buttons.
And not changing up that game plan too much, right? Like, not exerting too much in terms of mental stack and disallowing Kevin. He's playing Kevin's game, and he's finding those hits to do it. That's a CA. That's a critical art. That was a critical finish because Ramsey is showing how to really play that lane style. That turtle play, if you're Dual Kevin, you got to pull outside your wheelhouse here. You got to go aggressive. This is not in your favor.
Yeah, I think you're right. And right, you mean personal favor, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's not the
not
character
the
matchup. It's
Nah,
not about the character
please
matchup.
don't at me, please.
Right. But with a character as expressive as Honda, you can get around the character itself, right? And just get into playing the human being that you're playing against. And we can absolutely see that right here, that he's doing what he needs to do to avoid the kind of style that would allow Dual Kevin to do what he wants to do. It's been very, very strong neutral play from Ramsey.
Really risk averse too, just denying a lot of the approach that Rishi wants to do, and that's how it is for a lot of Rishi matchups. Like, you got to, sometimes you're waiting for him to mess up, or just staying solid. But the way that Ramsey is handling this is handling it very well. Again, Dual Kevin has to go outside his wheelhouse to get this victory. And Ramsey actually with more aggression in the throw, command grab flavor. There you go.
Dude, what are you doing? You could have done whatever you wanted.
Yes.
Okay, except for that one thing, as Ramsey does get to match point.
My man, want to clean that up. You gotta be careful.
What are you doing? Stop.
Rashid's not like the biggest comeback character. I get it, but he can't put you in a consistent pressure situation. And don't let someone like Dual Kevin come back.
So we're seeing whiff punish now. That just hasn't come up very often because Dual Kevin has rarely whiff buttons, but Ramsey did have the sweep to whiff punish.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you. I'd love to see Dual Kevin step out of his comfort zone. I'd love to see him moving forward more aggressively.
It's a throw. I mean, it's an EX. No anti right there.
The guys even said before the show started, Dual Kevin's got some of the best anti-airs in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And we just haven't seen it. Now, it hasn't come up very often, but we haven't seen it when it has.
It's the lack of jumps. Maybe you start looking out for that. Got to put that in the mental stack, but a little bit too late as this is set point for Ramsey. So out that forward heavy kick, trying to find a crush.
Dual Kevin, okay, fine. Gotta capitalize well. I love this to get to the corner. Almost there.
E-shift goes for the break. I like that distance right there. The push, but you're still back in the corner. Great life on both sides. EX blocks it out. And again, that usage of the V-bar for the V-shifts to stay away from any pressure situations to get back to neutral. But here's the hit.
That's what I'm talking about from Kevin. Got to see more of that kind of stuff. He doesn't have that much life left. As this is match point again for Ramsey. Dual Kevin. It's been this style, by the way. He hasn't really changed the style, and yet he is sitting on a life lead right now.
Quite a big one. Runs to headbutt raw. EX. This is his game to win right here. This is his game to win, David.
Look at the time now, 12.
Oh, the V-trigger. Oh, and the follow-up. Yo, Dual Kevin taking it back from the break. Is it like a Marvel thing where you just, you're never out of it? Like, you're just like, hey, as long as I isolate life on my health bar, I can still fight. EXDP. All right, Dual Kevin. Swinging back.
And he's looking for more buttons to whiff punish now, Ramsey. Not giving him too many options.
Economy well spent right here from Ramsey.
Again, instead, it's been Ramsey who has often had that range right.
And if you're Dual Kevin, you definitely want to have a better lead in terms of health right here. Round start with it. I feel like if you play these pressure situations, you're putting yourself on the line. Again, being on set point where Ramsey's at, he can play the clock, he can lame it out. You're just letting him be in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and it's so good that Ramsey walks up to specifically try to block maybe like an activation point or something like that to, again, use that V reversal. The V-shift has been huge for him as well. His conversion of the opponent's offense into his own mid-range offense, whatever it may be, has been huge.
Fantastic play right here. 40 seconds on the clock. Again, that lame style. Beating someone at their own game is ridiculous. The fact that Ramsey is outlaning someone like Dual Kevin, someone who has a character that can definitely play that sort of style too, is insane. The crush, follow up, super Ramsey making a gigantic upset, taking down Dual Kevin. Hands on the man. Hands on the man. Okay, Ramsey, you nice. There you go. You wanted to hear it? You're nice, Ramsey. You're nice.
I think you're right, to be frank, that this is an upset. that Dual Kevin came into this weekend. Many of us were talking about him as being certainly one of the favorites for the event, just in terms of how well he's done in the past. Wouldn't have been a big surprise at all to see him take the whole thing.
Right.
Instead, he got sent down to losers by Mad Gear and then sent out, as you just saw, by Ramsey. Now, those are two good players, but still, yeah, I think you're probably right about that, to be honest. Ramsey, you just got to say that his patience was gigantic. He didn't even present that many opportunities for Dual Kevin to whiff punish something. His use of V-meter, both in V-reversal and in V-shift, was gigantically important for getting out of the few meaty or offensive or corner situations that even came up. He had the whiff punishing more often than Dual Kevin did. And he had the crushes, even as Rashid's swinging through with down fierce and all that sort of stuff. It was instead Honda who had the crushes more often than not. Again, awesomely played by Ramsey. Really hats off.
I can't believe I got to say it, Ramsey, but you're nice. I said I'd say it if you did it, and you're nice. Great stuff, and we're not done with this great action. You still got to go against a classic. Something that happened at the Look Alive Combo Breaker event was the Underscore versus Ramsey. So we've seen a rematch of that in this bracket later on down the line. But before we get to there, we still got a lot more matches, including Joey versus Magnegro.
Yeah, Joey got here by losing to Brutus, but also beating Rich, you heard, and Magnegro lost to Dap Vip, but beat Stack Bradford, DDM, GLB, then to make it into the top 16.
Yo, he beat the god GLB? Yo, let me see what the players are saying. Let me pop up on the quotes. Let's see what's good.
Birdie may be unhealthy, but he eats his bananas. A great source of potassium and vitamin B. Thanks, buddy.
What? Well, great. Thank you for that factoid, but that told me nothing about you, Joey. About that typical Joey play right there. Let's see what Magnegro has to say. I played Joey a lot in tourney, so this won't be easy. But also, Capcom, please delete Mika. Thanks. I agree, Magnegro. You're on to something, my brother. You're on to something. Luffy, hold that.
For a while, Magnegro, I saw him playing a little bit of Honda. You know, when Birdie was nerfed at some point, he was thinking about switching away.
Right.
I don't think that's happened. I mean, like I said, he was doing it for a little bit, but Birdie, he still seems pretty content with. And I think it fits his style really, really well.
Right.
I like that. You know, going back to SF4, my memory is that he played Viper, actually. And initially, I was like, why are you playing? You're going to play Birdie? That's the switch? But, but when I saw that happen, I thought that made a lot of sense. I've seen him play Sim as well. This dude's been around for a long, long time. For Joey, we're looking for Mika, I would say, from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Magnegro, Prattville, Alabama. Again, we have a big geographic range.
A lot of players from a lot of different regions, a lot of different styles. And again, players who have played each other over and over again. That means we get to see the highest level. They want that spot. There's only one on the dot. Remember, you get 2 chances, right, for the Midwest. But you only one person leaves this having a seat at Capcom Cup to participate. You can't wait. You better deliberate on how you're going to make them defibrillate. Round start with the confirms. 3-piece right there. So the anti-air, no go.
And there, no dice. Not as an anti-cross-up. Sorry. Joey's already where he wants to be. Magnegro spends the bar to get out of there.
Well, Joey's one of those players that he will play the way he wants to play. You cannot stop this dude. If he wants to play a certain way, lose or win, he's going to do what he's got to do to get in.
Ooh. Does have the corner at least, but Magnegro's fighting really well. The whiff, not capitalized on, nor there.
Gotta confirm. This medium punch has got to be confirmed or something, because you don't want to be in this blender, especially as a character that gets all of his options deleted by throws. Look at that meaty style right there. Another command grab. Take a few more, but tried to press and got a press.
It's not over yet. Oh no!
David.
Oh no!
David. Where's James Chen at?
Oh no!
Who am I commentating with?
Nah, I love that from Joey.
Yeah.
Once he got there, look, you're right that Magnegro doesn't have an easy anti-throw way out, except that everybody in the game has a V-shift, and we didn't see it there.
That's true. I have seen Joey deal with that, so maybe it'll come through, but it also can get blown up. Pops up with a V skill, too.
Joey was looking for the bananas, but no, he's going unhealthy here. Magnegro has the V skill, too.
What an extension right there, but did all that, didn't get the win, unfortunately. The side switch right here from Joey. The EX. What's up, V skill?
The catch from Joey. He's going to have to guess on his way back in. No.
Okay. Light, non-committal. All right, Magnegro with the jabs. And that's one thing that Birdie is really good about. Claiming that space of the neutral with non-committal buttons to close out things.
Ooh, had just built a bar as well. Joey back to the corner.
Okay. Runs the EX, the knockdown with the B skill. Look at him, just claiming a lot of that space. And if you don't have a way in without bar, it's kind of difficult to deal with. And the anti-air right there, the extension doesn't find the last hit though, but still got the corner position.
Lovely stuff from Joey right there. What a conversion. He's got mix-ups now. No more V-shift available. Magnegro, can he find his way out? Again, the risk from Joey. It was a huge risk right there.
The EX connects, one more hit to do it. Joey's pressure in the corner is so strong. So strong from Joey. We got Mikas in this house. I ain't gonna pay attention to the name. But anyway, Joey staying super solid and, cooking some mac and cheese out here. I really like that when Joey puts people in the corner, again, he runs his gameplay. You can't stop this dude. Like, he's going to, win or lose, he's going to do what he's going to do.
Yep.
If you don't adjust, you're going to get got. Will it blend? Of course it'll blend.
The thing that sticks out in my mind is that he had so many jump-in splashes or jump-in regular attack. He just guessed right on that, I feel like 5 times. And that allowed him to get in, get things started.
Right.
Because other than that, Magnegro has controlled things a bunch.
Right. But you need to see more than just control. Damage on the deck. Confirms, especially these medium punches. And there we go. Answering the call right there with the anti-air.
The range was good. Joey harassing. And that approach really has been the big thing. Okay, he's going to spend the trigger. Magnegro. Oh, no, he couldn't get out of there. Oh, he thought he had.
B-shift comes into play. As you were saying before, finally running that approach in terms of defense.
He finds that so consistently. Magnegro again. He's been here so long.
Oh, the jump out. What a call out from Magnegro. Switching up what he does on defense. Instead of just holding back to block or maybe backdash or whatever, he's jumping out. He's using V-shift. Now presenting more options for Joey to worry about. But then again, Joey's that kind of dude that just does what he wants to do. Jump in. To the corner you go.
Oh, I think he was threatening with the V skill. That's funky. I like that idea.
Kind of bait on reaction. All right. Let's see you, Magnegro.
A little bit of a whiff punish. Joey, the dash at that range and the jump at that range. Here's the third option, really, is the roundhouse. He's there. He's there. Yo, he knows it.
Oh, but there we go. Back in the corner. And Magnegro actually using the EX to get outside the screen, but man, it don't matter. Get back in the corner. Start paying rent. The crush, follow up, Joey on set point. And we've seen Magnegro just live in this corner. He's got to start paying rent first of the month. Because the corner play is strong right here from Joey.
The thing is that he lives outside of that apartment for a lot of this time, and then when he's in there, that's when it goes downhill. But he spends a lot of the chunk of time here. Not this round, though. It's Joey fast into the corner.
Bar at the bottom work with anti-air right there with the jab. Back at him across the medium punch. V-shift goes for the break. Careful. These ranges. I was going to say one good confirm from Joey could come, but it's the reverse. V-shift goes for the break again for the distance. At the same time, you feel like this character doesn't want to be in the corner either against a character like Birdie.
No command grab. Okay! And it's the round, and it's the game. Magnegro sends it to 1-1.
All right. We still got a game. We still got some games to play. It's the defense on the deck that man is putting on. I really like his decisions, and as you had said, staying outside the corner. I mean, that's Mika 101.
Right.
Yeah. But
don't get cornered versus Mika. Thanks.
Thanks.
Cool.
I really appreciate it. You ask a pro, and they're like, don't get cornered. It's like, well, but there's a deeper meaning to all this. When you exemplify more things on defense, the V-shift, the jump out, things like that, it makes it a lot better. It makes it more for them to think about, and then you can also turn things in the defense from the offense. And now we're seeing the final game between the two. Crush counter, round start, but there you go. Into the corner.
Wow! Oh, the crush actually maybe isn't better for Magnegro, who walks up maybe looking for V-shift actually.
Possibly. I told you, America loves to delete V-shift. They don't want to use V-shifts the right way. They will delete them first.
Oh, can he get there?
Oh.
He's going to go for a V-skill. That's been huge!
The setup!
Activation itself 3 times has been huge to get rid of that mix-up of splash or not, and now match point for Magnegro.
What a turnaround. that this man's putting on. EX, Peach, running to the corner. We'll lay on these normals right here. Trying to catch some butts from Magnegro. You see the counter hit? Stun is rising. But we've also seen him stay solid and find a way out. Especially if he's got that bar at the bottom to just find a way out. No EX right there. Up the medium. The jump in. Oh no.
A couple of big problems for both of these. Okay, now Joey's here. All that aside. No. And now if Magnegro finds the right hit, it's over. However, same for Joey. He has the super. And his confirms into that super some of the best. Looking for the confirm on that Fierce.
Would love to have that. But here's the EX right here from Joey. That's going to hurt. And it killed. That's a big boy, too. That's a big boy, too. Final game, final round. Joey versus Magnegro.
One of the closest sets that we've had so far today. Back and forth between these two.
To the limit. And that Fierce got to be careful, though. One good whip punish right there. Could send you to the corner with the EX Peach confirmed.
We've rarely seen the slide. Big chance. Magnegro maybe gets the corner out of this. Oh, such a cool choice out of Joey.
Yeah. I like that he's kind of, in his own way, putting on options to avoid the corner situations where he's been losing health. Finds the confirm to into the EX corner play. What do you got for me?
He's so insistent. He just will not give up. Again. Magnegro has 2 red bars. Slide. Look at the stun. It's in.
EX! Gorilla Grip! He's got it! Joey with the stun! And it's done! Of steel! You understand? It's steel! You ain't getting through that! Joey! Taking over Magnegro. Dang! Ugh.
Exactly the kind of thing that Joey wants to happen, right? Like, to get into that corner situation, and you know her ways in. She dashes, she does a splash or not, she does a charge drop kick. And that mix-up between those three, he did such a good job of mixing up between those three.
Man.
And each one of those options did work a bunch, including in that last round right there.
Fantastic play by Joe. I told you he's insistent in what he wants to do. But at the same time, he does add to his template. I'm not saying that he's just a one style kind of player.
No.
He started using we saw the EX wingless to go over the V skill
he's
to
very
deny
smart,
that approach.
for sure.
Yeah. So that's why he's moving on over Magnegro in this top 16. What ridiculous set right there. And he's going to be fighting El Chicote. It's going to be some Mika on Mika violence, unfortunately.
Wow.
Only one Mika's going to be moving on to that bracket. That's sick.
Wow, that's wild, actually. Okay. Just happens to work out like that. Well, yeah, you can see all of the round 2 matches. Brutus versus Toplin.
Okay.
Mr. Mad Gear versus Kendricks. _87 versus Ramsey. And Chakotay versus Joey. I've seen some of these matchups before. Chakotay and Joey, for example. You were just talking about _ versus Ramsey having happened recently. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff to watch here. We're going to catch Brutus versus Toplin coming up.
Yeah.
So looking, of course, for Toplin's Fang. I would expect, I think, the Zangief.
Yeah.
For Brutus in this situation. Geef with Flex and with a couple of his options to attack over Cloud.
Yeah.
Big deals in the matchup can be really important for him. He has a ranged command grab, obviously, to beat, it is Geef, versus EX command dash escape. He has a bunch of things to say in this matchup that I think are better than Abigail's.
Yeah, if you're throwing fireballs like a fool, you might get got by the V trigger that he's got on the deck. When that's activated, that just allows for more pressure. And we said before, you don't have any reversals. You don't have a 3-frame to challenge these situations. You got to rely upon D-bar in terms of, shifting away the situation. And the small boy going back to the churn, getting hit with a lot of this plus lean is not where you want to be.
I mean, what he's trying to do right now is get that V-trigger ASAP, and he's almost there. He's got it. Okay,
Time
now.
to play.
Oh, boy, maybe a little bit too much. Okay, activation point. Okay, top one. 0 pixels. Will it matter? Brutus will get the EX SPD into mix-up, and he's 3 hits away right now.
He really is. Low health
There's
character.
one.
The stun is rising. Do it to him again. The crush off the heavy kick. That's a small boy with a big churn.
Count him up, baby. How many did I say he was away? That's number 3. Brutus using the mix of Geef. Churning away. Top one, though, I got to say, neutral game was fantastic throughout that.
But it's just, you wait for that moment to shine, you make the right reads, it makes his character look way stronger than what he really is in certain situations. You have to make the right reads. But Brutus right here is a library. Finds the X to knock down and keeping caught up in the corner. Toplin's got to find a way out.
You're right. He did keep calm. That was really important to see. Now he's going to have life lead positioning as well. Geef's going to lose a bunch of life on the way back.
Right, yeah. It tends to happen in most matches, right? For Geef, that health is a resource, and you have to understand that. The Flappy Bird, the air-to-air. The command grab, though.
Plus. Oh! Toplin's in big trouble. It's one mix-up. No cans. Oh, he didn't have it. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. Maybe he thought that he did, but he had just done a V-shift. It was literally V-shift into that.
Right.
I don't know. I think that may be a bit of a brain fart, unfortunately, for Toplin.
Yeah.
And he did keep patient in that one situation. He had fantastic neutral. There's a lot to build on.
Yeah,
There's a lot to build on coming into the
this.
second game.
Yeah, and to be that close, even the first round, and say, okay, they're willing to take all this damage. They're willing to take all these hits. How can I adjust my game plan so that it's even less risk on my side and more reward? How can I get these finishes? How can I make them stress out? Because right now I feel like Toplin is the one stressed out the minute the command grab happens, and you'll see why right here. Brutus knows what to do. Gets the meaty no vegan right there.
Looking for the backdash.
Wasn't there, but here's the EX.
It's fine, though. Brutus is right back into exactly where he wants to be. The no-committal grab attempt. Huh, interesting.
That flex doing mad work.
Okay,
See?
now. He does have V-trigger when he's going to have that for... It connected! He chased it all the way through!
There's the mix we want to see. Toppling with a little bit of that mix, throwing a lot more out, and finding a lot of reward off this. No!
Okay, well, it could have been worse for him.
That's true. Finish the job, Toplin. Do it now, Toplin.
He's giving trigger to Geef. He's giving it to him.
Bruce is like, this is fine.
Yeah, I think he is thinking that.
I'm going to churn, baby. I'm going to churn. Like an unsatisfied nun, I'm going to churn. I'm going to make that, but with the back throw, though, I can't believe Toplin.
Sometimes you're a genius, you know? You just, you think that the opponent's looking for you to do wake up super, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to do wake up grab instead.
I'm a genius. Oh, no.
Yeah, that has happened already in this set.
Yeah, really. Oh, lands the light into the EX SPD already off the bat.
Lovely challenge as well. I like a lot of what we're seeing out of Toplin right now. Comes off the bar. That's cool. Right Brutus is just getting hit so that he gets that trigger. I mean, it's not. He would rather not get hit at all, to be clear.
Yeah.
But the way that he's playing is certainly trigger focused.
Toplin, though, not afraid. Not scared at all. Knows that he's got super on the deck to save the day. Feature activation. Back throw. Toplin staying alive.
I think in a couple of these situations, it was Brutus expecting super on wake up and then again right there. And so Brutus was patient.
Yeah,
but really, I mean, Toplin's defense has been solid, patient, and hasn't been risky. I don't think he's done an EX command dash wake up. He definitely has not done super. I think there's only been one V-shift even. I think a lot of this has been him being patient.
How is this dude's first fighting game? These are like rookie mistakes. These are mistakes I would be making. And he's evening out against Brutus of all people, staying solid, figuring out ways and methods to deal with the damage on the deck. And now they're at the final game.
It's a slow approach. He's tried some jumps. There it is. Toplin did not give in to the temptation to backdash.
Throwing out the poison. A lot of that plus lean on him, and you got to be super careful. It's the time is ticking away on the damage. I mean, even for a character like Geef, where he's getting D-bar, we've seen how Brutus operates. Like, he'd like to have those moments where he actually speed trigger, makes a comeback, but you'd also like to have a lot of help to play with.
Oh, for sure.
You would love to be able to survive some of these mixes in a different way.
Toplin. Oh, he comes off of it. I'm a little worried for him now. He came off of the V-shift meter. It's Brutus coming to party. He's got his hat on. He's entering the door. Okay, play that music.
He's not even on the invite list, but there's a command grab. He is making butter, baby.
He's on the dance floor right now, out there in that party. He's having a great time. He's about to move through. This is match point for him.
Brutus coming through with the turns. That's the wrong one, though. Wrong kind of milk. Finds the hit, counter hit, knockdown.
Trying to find his way in, as we have often seen. No, he did too early on the jump medium, even for a 5-frame short.
Again, can never count Brutus out of this. The V-trigger, the great equalizer, especially when these projectiles are thrown out. That's why we see Toplin going for the legs, throwing out the projectile.
Okay, did not have the full one left at that point. He comes in. Is he going to try to party again? Toplin did the wake-up grab. Brutus. Maybe one more. 2 more at the most.
Double whip on the throw. There's a command grab. SPD. One more hit, Jake. One more hit. One more hit. One more hit. That was it. That's a small point. That's a big churn. That's a big churn right there.
No doubt about that. Brutus's quote that he wanted us to say for him is, "I'm shorter than my opponent's runs in bracket." And yeah. I mean, at this point, everybody's in here for quite a run at this point.
Not
We're
really.
threatening to make top 8 at this point. We're pretty deep into this thing.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
nevertheless, joke made. I appreciate it. That is Brutus qualifying for top 8. We'll see him tomorrow. Toplin, I got to say again, hats off. I liked a ton of what we saw.
Right.
The patience, the neutral game, it's all there. When we saw him versus Joe Umerogan, we saw awesome, very solid offense and wall moving forward, ready for anti-air almost every single time. There is a ton to build on there for somebody who, again, playing his first fighting game right here.
Yeah, I can tell you, this has not been my first fighting game. I've been around for over 20 years. To have this kind of quickness with the game, to pick up like this, just goes to show if you're focused and you understand things and you really put the time in practice, you can make these top 16s. It's never too late to play a fighting game. It's never too late to enter, because if these players are out here with a couple years facing off against people who've been a lot longer and making work happen, y'all can do it too. So keep grinding.
I mean, for people in our 30s like us, it feels like Street Fighter V just came out. The reality is it's been out for like half a decade at this point. So, he's got maybe a bunch of years in this thing.
That's true.
In any case, hats off to Toplin. I'd love to see more from him in the future. But again, it's going to be Brutus who moves on for now.
That's right. So, that was a great match. Got me feeling unusual, but something that's going to get me right is this new song from the CTA right here. Don't forget that Capcom Pro Tour 2021 theme song is bopping right here. If you want more details, check out the link below. It's right down this guy right here. I'm gonna download this later and bop to it. As I.
You can definitely tell that we're in Southern California right now.
Man,
oh boy,
it is hitting
sweltering in here right now, as it
us.
is in much of the southern and western NA. Also, by the way, hats off to PlayStation. Thanks for the support as always. They are hosting a bunch of Street Fighter V events. Head to compete.playstation.com. You can join the PlayStation Tournament's EVO 2021 online warm-ups in your region. Check that out. Okay, look, we're pretty far through this thing at this point. We have a few matches left to determine who makes the top 8. We know a bunch of them. Like I said, just a few left. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have those matches.
Dan Hibiki, back after the ultimate improvement. Father! Psycho! What's up, what's up? See ya. Psycho! The legend has now begun. Burn this in your memory! Knock you Psycho! Whoosha! To honor father, Big Bro will do his best.
Welcome back to the Midwest CPT, the first one on the dot. Top 16 action out here. It's hot, all right? It's hot. And it's not hot because of the heat wave outside. It's hot because these matches are ridiculous. My name is St. Cole, and I am joined with Ultra David. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty toasty.
Yeah,
pretty toasty.
okay,
I gotta be honest. Yeah, but I'm also very, very excited to find the winner of these last three that we have for you. Again, we know almost everybody who's going to be in top 8 tomorrow. Here's the rest. Mr. Mad Gear versus Kendricks.
Okay.
Sin _87 versus Ramsey, and then rounding it out is going to be quite a barn burner with El Chicote versus Joey.
So that means we're going to be starting it off with some Abigail on Vega, and then a run back of the Look Alive exhibition that we had seen recently. Hope you guys check that out. You know, shout outs to Rick and the crew for giving us some Street Fighter V action on that. And then some Mika on Mika violence, people. It's going to be ridiculous. And remember that you can also register for the China registration if you are in that region as well. So go ahead and do that.
Indeed.
A little bit of shilling. But anyway, let's get back into where we're at, and that's the Midwest action plus friends. Getting right into it with Mr. Matt here to see if he can stay solid. You know, a little shaky in the winner side of things, but when you're in a loser side position where you've got only one more chance and you know that you can do it, you've gotten this far for a reason, you know, it's going to hit different. But
the only person who's beaten him so far is Rob TV, and Rob TV looks like one of the best in the whole tournament, and no surprise on that, of course. He beat Dual Kevin, again, a player that many of us thought was going to go very far. So Matt Gear's already had a good day in terms of who he has beaten, but it would be even better to make top 8 right here. That's a Kendricks I've been very impressed by as well. Like a lot of what we're seeing in terms of his neutral game. Slight pressure here, opportunity to stay in.
Left from the side of the crush, too. Got him in the call up in the corner right here. And now he can, again, play his way. The poking game finds a buffer right there in the EX.
That thing is gnarly right now. The run punch. Ooh. Oh, no, only one hit, and that means it's big damage. No cancelability on that one right there.
Gotta beat the
He's already rolled far enough, man.
No butter on that. Or Mag Gear. I can't believe I'm saying it, but you see some of the nerfs coming into play right here. The interruptions, but there's a parry EX, and the Abigail punch sends it all the way to the corner.
And now he gets to harass. Big plus frames on that button. Okay, here he is. No, into the corner. It's surely not what he wanted. He's threatening.
And look at Kendricks' maneuvering. Movement around those EX runs right there. Allows him to stay solid. The poke game, going right back to it. Claws up, baby.
Pretty hands off. Oh, it's minus $1 billion.
Quite a bit. Here's activation. We wanted to see before.
Yeah, he's here with V-Trigger 1. Can he find? Oh, no. Oh, the big blow-up. The big blow-up on that down, Fierce.
Oh, my. Just the fact that he went low and to reset the situation when he didn't find the right hit, that's the power of that V-Trigger to be able to charge up, and you're in a death situation. You ain't in a guess the game situation, especially when you're a character like Vega. You just have to hold that. With that amount of health and the anti right there, Mag Gear looking super solid.
Great anti-air. It's an important thing to have. That said, he's getting pushed towards the corner. Okay, very nice. Plus. Oh, interesting.
And that is very punishable. A lot of people don't know you can gotta get a slight walk up, but just too far out. It's out the range. But here's the anti right there. Mag Gear building up that bar at the bottom too.
Kendricks has got a chance for pressure. Again, pretty light. He's not been overly aggressive about that stuff. Block one more of those mediums. Oh, get dunked.
Double heavy, the shimmy, the finesse, and bless. And that EX Suzuna drop. Not going to put him to rest.
For the game. Command grab, finally! We hadn't seen it yet. I've been saying how this man's pressure had been non-committal. There hadn't been a lot there. And so I totally understand why Mad Gear would think, okay, knockdown, no big deal. I've been here before.
Yeah.
Instead, command grab. I love the choice. I love the choice right there.
Put a ring on it. You got to commit. Put a ring on it. I love it. I love that the way that he's playing in terms of this neutral game, poking away, setting up shop, and it's setting up his template so he can actually advance and do more in these situations to catch Mag Gear off guard. And that's unfortunate. I can't believe I'm saying this for Abigail, but being caught up in the corner is not where you want to be. Yeah. Those buttons super slow. You don't have the reversal situation, the 3-frame. You only can rely upon a parry in a predictive sense, but a lot of these things get beat up by throws and things like that. As you saw right there, the EX command grab made him hold all that. So now Magyar, I think, went back to the Battle Lounge, probably to, I'm not sure. I don't think he's any other character.
Not to switch. Yeah, I haven't seen him play somebody else. I'm really expecting Abigail
Not in
here
a
for
serious,
sure.
not in a serious sense.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've seen him mess around with V-Trigger to Urian,
Okay,
but that's like,
okay.
hey, I'm having fun on, you know, on CFN.
Sure.
And he's sticking with who he came with, but it's got to be a different game plan. It's got to me. It almost feels like it's Kendricks that's doing more here than Magyar is needing to adjust. There's some situations where he needs to adjust, but Kendricks has just this great neutral. As I say this, shut me the heck up.
We have seen that sometimes. The anti-airs have been there. We've seen down fierce as well as we fast forward. Kendricks, although the neutral game's been huge, really. I mean, that's been a lot of it. He's given into the temptation to jump just there as well.
Yeah.
Now Magyar, can he capitalize?
Those soul buttons get got. EX, nobody blocking that. V shifts away. Goes for the break this time, using more V bar just for the V shift, just to stay away. But the crush, if you jump, you're giving him V bar in a situation to put himself in the corner. Ooh.
Magyar is in trouble. Way too far, way too far. Kendricks, I mean, it is tough to be there fast enough versus this fast walk speed character, right? He's backing off out of the range of the one hit that's cancelable. Kendricks is at match point, and again, his neutral game, his anti-airs have been huge.
Absolute money right here. V shifts away, but then again, I still don't feel like there's enough offense. The defense is getting better. The anti-airs are there sometimes for Magyar, but I need to see more offense. But as you said before, that walked
right at
into
it.
play.
Magyar in big trouble. There it is. Kendricks waited, and he is going to scoop forward into top 8 in very, very strong fashion. Whether it was him anti-airing, whether it was him pressing the right buttons in neutral, even pressuring when he did need to, including at the end of both of the games that we saw. I loved a lot of what we saw out of Kendricks right here.
Claws up, baby. Claws up. That's what we're seeing right here. Great neutral play. Moving on the bracket in the top 8. I mean, that is, again, these players coming through and taking down, you know, big names that we've seen a lot of in other tournaments. Is just a testament of when you give people a platform to play, start coming up, they'll start, you know, putting their putting their hearts on the line here. So we still got some more games on the line, and this one's going to be ridiculous. David, who do we have coming up?
Next, we have Sin_87 versus Ramsey.
Yes.
Now, when we saw Underscore before, it was in the context of losing to Brian F. And Brian just seemed like he was really prepared. Even what he was talking about in his quote, he's just really prepared, as he tends to be.
Right.
So for Underscore to have lost that, look, obviously you want to beat everybody, but like Brian F's one of the favorites, I think.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't think there's much to be concerned about in losing. Now, though, versus Ramsey, having just beaten Dual Kevin and having taken out some strong players before that even as well, having expressed himself as much as he did. I don't know. And this matchup, Honda versus Cam, is an interesting one. I do think that it's one of those kind of evenish matches. But again, kind of like with Rashid, they both do a pretty good job at taking away some of what the other one likes to do.
Yeah.
Some of the approaches that Cammy would like to do are a little bit tougher, considering things like a headbutt, considering things like especially EX headbutt.
Right.
Even stand fierce for anti-air. I do think that's pretty solid. His counter pokes are good. At the same time, some of the stuff that Honda would like to do, including pressuring with hands, she can V-reversal right out of that, and in a way that completely reverses positioning, right?
Yeah.
Not many characters get that. So even when he does get pressure, it's not quite as strong in some ways. She can turn things around pretty quickly, and obviously her pressure is fantastic.
Yeah,
he does not have good defense.
Yeah, it definitely gets weathered away. And they have played each other, too. As I said before, there was a Look Alive tournament by Rick. I'm going to keep saying this because it was so dope. They were in the exhibition for the Street Fighter V side, and it was Ramsey that came out as the winner.
Okay.
And so this is kind of that run back where, you know, you've gotten beat up in that long set. You've looked over that. You've got a lot of material to come from. And they've also played each other in, like, you know, the low kick, you know, weeklies and things like that. They play each other there. So this is like, you have all this data. Here it's coming to a head at this CPT to move on loser side. You got to come correct. There's no way else where to go, either top 8 or a body bag. You don't want to be in the second one.
Nope. I'm about to be in the second one if I don't get some water soon, I'll tell you that much. All right, coming in again with Honda. He said that he's got the Geef as well, but again, I think this is a good choice.
Yeah, as you said, denying all the tools that Cammy wants to do. At the same time, she can do that too. If Underscore gets going, even if it's a stylistic choice, Underscore style is not on the lame side. He loves to go aggressive. He might even go more aggressive because things are on the line in the loser side of things. So might see some more of that aggressive play, but that could be to Ramsey's benefit. One good slip up and you lose half your health.
No anti-air. A couple of times, in fact. Might just been expecting dive kick. Ooh, brings out the quick one.
Runs it raw. Let the back out. Be reversal, as you said before.
Yeah, that's a big thing in this matchup for sure. Yep, EX just in case. It's really, really good defense right now by Ramsey. Oh, that's the mix-up I'm looking for. Nice stuff by Underscore, but then not into much.
What's hands on him? Dash up. One-touch situation right here. The dash up command grab. Sit on him.
When you play defense for 45 seconds, and then you do command dash, or you dash up into command grab, nobody's getting out of that grab, buddy. Nobody's looking for that.
And it's so deceptive, too. Like, that dash is super deceptive. Like, it's reactable, but, like, it's a big boy coming at you, and you mess up, you're going to get got.
Oh, lovely jump time. No, I needed to see more than that. Underscore has given up some opportunities. We saw that versus Brian as well.
Right. You got to get these situations, get the knockdown, run the pressure, keep it going. That's a throw. And Underscore, just that wild style, I would actually kind of like to see. Thank you, Underscore. You heard my callings. Throw a little bit of that spice in there. Don't all gotta be vanilla, baby. Throw a little spice on it.
Playing very, very patiently now, though. Almost hard to tell who's got the life lead. I think it's Underscore, but just by a little bit.
You have to see the change up, though.
Okay, so baiting it out really, really well right now. I love this from Underscore, who goes back to playing pretty cautiously.
Put the V-break on him. Get some distance. We're going down in time. This is where you're making money in the corner. There's a throw. But we've seen Ramsey weather the storm. You can't leave for free. There's a DP as an ender. EX connects. Side switch. V-skill. Oh, no, you gave him the chance to come back.
Still has that full trigger, and it doesn't come into play. Okay.
Staying solid out here. Okay, I thought that was going to be the end of him. You see V-bar at the bottom with Honda?
Right, yeah.
All you see is red. All he sees is red. But there we go. Run it raw, baby. We ain't cooking nothing. It is Spiral Arrow Tartar. But that's what makes him so hard to play against, because you can't predict what he wants to do. They play each other a million times, but Ramsey will still say, bro, what is he doing? Like, what is this dude doing?
That can be safe.
Yeah.
If you do it at max range, it can be safe.
Maybe Ramsey has to switch up his positioning.
Coming in with butt slam. We hadn't seen it yet. There it is, out of the corner. Underscore. Can he turn it into much?
Run the fierce anti right there with the heavy. EX at the right range, and that catches the button. There we go. You got the lead. Now you can play your way.
Down fierce. No cancel. It's Ramsey who's out of there. I don't want to be anywhere near you.
Can't delay the inevitable. Side switch off of it. So the whole dang bar. Super's built. Oh, you thought? There's the anti-air, though. This time it lands.
Taking a risk versus Cammy with super
loaded. Oh, my gosh.
You just...
Oh, man. You unusual with that one.
Big stolen turn for sure.
Yeah.
Still has that V skill 2 loaded. Forward roundhouse could be right into it.
Oh,
here's the mix-up. Did he get it in time? No! Oh. And then not punished either.
So he drops. Nerves on the line. EX comes through. Side switch with the V break. Saving for a second longer. 10 seconds on the clock.
It's going to be close.
He's out of there. David, he's out of there. But gets hit. The DP. 5 seconds. He's 2-stepping. But the fadeaway in place. Underscore. Underscore.
Wow. That was a wild end right there. What a scramble on both sides. Whew.
I'm going to be honest with everybody at home. I've never seen Underscore play this lane. To let the time wind down like this is an acquired skill. So part of me is a little proud of him to let the time wind down, because that is a way you can play. You can let the time. That's a part of your plan.
Yeah.
Like, let the time wind down. Let them scoot step to you. Get the jump back, and now Underscore up a game.
Yeah, as that went on, I liked a lot more of what we saw. He's done that from a really good range, honestly, about where I would think it's safe.
And if you're
especially versus dinky
the
four frame that Honda has, yeah, it's not going to get very far.
And look at this Underscore now in his element. The switchback flip mode with the EX. It's a knockdown. Try to get the chase out. Almost got crushed for that bad V-ship. Stay solid.
Oh, Underscore's in big trouble. He does bring it out. Still even, honestly, kind of in trouble.
V-bar off the table. Underscore is the last part of his. Stay solid, doesn't get jumped in on. The defense on the deck dive kick.
But nothing there. He didn't have V-skill.
Oh, the hooligan.
Hold on. Great block. Anything's going to do it, Underscore knows. The classic series medium kick. What else would it be? It's match point. Sin, Underscore 87 to make it into top 8.
What a great closing button. And only closers get coffee. Shouts to F word. I feel like all these buffers are so dangerous.
Oh, man. The whiff into nothing.
Oh. That forward heavy kick trying to make some money. No confirm the crouching kick. Those are really difficult to do, but you have to start finding sequences where you start continuing oaking your pressure early in the round. Do not let Ramsey get that lead.
We haven't seen hands in hands almost at all. Ramsey may be changing tactics. Just get the damage on that. Oh my god.
Oh. Look, it's a dive kick too. V reversal though. We out of there.
And Underscore again, walking back into the mix-up we've seen many times. Super important in this match, and he's made it great.
Trying to scoop step in for the back dashes. Underscore staying solid. Again, this defense, something that he's been putting in his game plan as time has went on, and it's coming through. He's got to do it now. Anti-right there with a heavy, though. Damage is rising.
It's finally a big life lead now for Ramsey. We haven't even seen that very often. Yeah, he'll take the trade, of course.
In his favor. That's a big boy. V-reversal. It don't matter, though. You got to come to him to get the win.
And Underscore slowly trying to make that happen. There it is. The big plus frames. +5 out of EX, but trying to stay alive.
Seen a lot more butt stuff from Ramsey, throwing out the EX butt slam and such. And the command grabs have also caught Underscore off guard too. All these things equate to a lot of mental damage. Underscore has to stay solid.
He called it correct.
Oh, he knows Underscore special. He's seen it too many times. He's been got. Not today. I'm staying sucker free on a Sunday. And the counter hit. Ooh, the stun.
Look at the red bar. Big plus again, but Sin's Underscore's out of there, and I feel like Ramsey might be okay with that.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you use that beer bar for, that means that's what I have to deal with in terms of trigger.
Yeah.
That means trigger's off the table. No more defense on the deck. It's a one-touch situation for Ramsey. It's a big boy to do it. Oh! And you got to hold that one that says Ramsey when he puts hands on the man. EX edition.
Woo, boy. This is a really good matchup between these two right here. And what's funny is that it's almost the opposite of kind of how we maybe expected, kind of how you teed it up.
Right.
Who among these two is the lame slow player? Which one of these two?
You wouldn't know. Like when you look at them weeks ago, they were like, listen, this is the way I play. But then CPT comes up and you're like, I got to switch up things. I got to hit him with the flip mode. I got to hit him with something different. We are at the final game. As you said, did not expect the way they are shifting back and forth, but this is why these tournaments are so cool. You get to see them grow as competitors. You get to see the higher echelon. Oh, you play this way? Let me switch it up on you. Let me hit you with the flip mode.
Not quite there on the whiff punish. Very even in life as Ramsey slowly is pushing his opponent backwards. Anti-airs have been pretty good, and he's been trying them a lot. Oh, no punch! Ooh. -2 there, not taken by Underscore.
That's how he's introducing the stop sign to hands. But from the skies, Underscore, the dive kick.
Safety first. Classically, take the throw. That's what they tell you to do.
Yeah. You don't want to eat a bad situation in terms of Oki, and reset the neutrals perfectly fine for Honda.
Oh, yeah, that's what I would think, right? But in fact, the way that this has gone has often not been that way.
Oh,
Ramsey now has it. He was a little bit too far. He wanted the big damage of Roundhouse again into V-Skill 2. Hands, command grab is enough. It's match point now for Ramsey. Knocking on door for top 8 tomorrow.
Don't open up, Underscore. Don't open up. I want to see one more game. Come on. But Ramsey's out here using Underscore like toilet paper, and it's looking real difficult. Here we go, though. This is a return over seat, using these dive kicks to come through, and the grounded approach. The ground game strong, too. Oh, the stun right back at him to get it done.
And into pressure again. The grab is here, everything. In fact, maybe a perfect. He's close. He's close. Uh-oh. kept it easy for himself.
Oh, the
chase! The chase! Maybe into a reset?
Oh, the EXTP, though! No follow-up! We busted out, baby! We busted out!
That was the question. Is it going to be a reset going for stun? And Underscore knew exactly what was coming up as we're at match point now for both!
I cannot believe this is going to the dang limit B skill. After you get cleaned up at like a big exhibition, after you fought somebody in your locals all the dang time, you gotta really put on the line right here in the CPT. Pushing into the top 8 does not want to go for any sort of
so
push or
worried about
anything.
EXTP right there.
Full jump. Trying to put that in play. I kind of like that option to get some of the dive kicks and things like that. Change up your approach.
Ooh, he's scheming there. He's moving forward all of a sudden. Where have these forward dashes been?
Scoot stepping. There's a throw, though.
Out of there, as Underscore often has, again taking the risk.
He's got B-trigger bar to still to use. One more shot to pop. Unloads it.
Oh, huge chance. Huge chance here for Ramsey.
Had to fade away.
Woo! He kept it fancy. The command grab. One more. Either way, Underscore's in big trouble.
Oh, no. The neutral jump right there. The whip. He's still fine though. Back though. Underscore can still take this with all the bar at the bottom. He can cook. Let me see what's on the menu. Activation. Does it raw?
He's got that -2. Yep. It's
Ooh,
safe. Huge chance. Underscore. Does he get it? All he's got to do is get super. He does. Underscore. We're going to see you tomorrow in top 8.
Underscore. Not only did he change up what he wanted to do in the neutral, not only did he adjust himself, he at the very end, I gotta give you credit. Look at me right now, Underscore. When you watch this, I want you to see this. You did not DP at the end, and I'm so proud of you. The Underscore of even 6 months ago would have DP free. That's what Ramsey was waiting, but that didn't happen. And what a turnaround! The return over seat, Underscore in top 8.
I love it. I thought the way that he played at the end there was so good. And not just at the end, but the fact that he changed his style, as you have been talking about, that's huge. And when you play against somebody that you've played against before, and now they're bringing a new style, that's a flummox. You're not used to that. You're not expecting that.
I wasn't either.
Really good stuff by Underscore. Again, we'll see him tomorrow. We got one left. El Chicote versus Joey. We have a couple of players who have played before. We got a couple of players who do have Mikas. Are you looking for this to be a Mika mirror? What do you think the chances are that this might be like a Lucia instead?
To me, if I'm either of these players, my secondaries are great, but they're not loser side great. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
At this point, I feel like you should just run the mirror.
Okay.
Lucia could probably do the work in terms of like the neutral, but I don't know if Tay's been playing that character enough to get her strong enough. I'm not confident in someone like Joe, who's just probably going to pick Urian. I'm sorry, Mika. He's got the Urian.
Yeah.
He's not going to go the Urian.
I'm looking for Mika.
Yeah, please, Joey, don't do it. Don't. I better not pop up the screen and we see V-trigger to Urian. Don't do it. It's probably going to be Mika versus Mika, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. El Chicote so far has beaten No Good Citizen, Jewelman, Sabo. Ooh. He then, of course, lost to Justa earlier. We saw that one happen. Now the reward is that he gets to play against Joey, who lost to Brutus, beat other players, including Richie Hurd, to get into this situation. Then, of course, we've been watching him already. He made it through Magnigo. It was a close one.
Yeah,
it was
very
close.
Very close.
But he did make it through.
He's warmed up. I mean, both these players warmed up. When you get a spot at the intel, that also kind of tells you, hey, you can kind of do this. And Joey, shouts to him, he was one step away from quitting the intel and not being, he was just like, I can't do it. I don't feel like I'm in my right mindset. And he's like, all right, let me give it one more go. And that last one ended up being the last person to qualify on that side. That is ridiculous. So shout outs to Joey to keep persevering, and that's also why I feel like he's able to stay solid in situations. He's fighting Magnegro, where he's like one hit away from dying or whatever, or need the defense or whatever. When you have that previous experience, like, hey, I just got into intel after however many times I just didn't make it. Now I feel solid. That energy can be real strong here. But Tay, he's also looking for a big win. Sure. He's also on his way. Like if you look at his Twitter, he's like, hey, I'm just training hard. I want to get this is my shot right here. I really feel like I can do it, and he's going. Colleen from Joey.
Interesting. From Joey.
Wow.
Ah, okay.
Wow, Joey. I've seen Colleen before.
Sure.
It's been working, but again, a secondary in this kind of situation. Let's see prove me a liar. I want to see some games.
Try to press the button there. Ready for Chicote. Okay, fine. Joey's out of there, but that means Well, the trigger's gonna happen anyway. Who am I?
Yeah,
fooling?
yeah, yeah.
Who am I kidding here?
Especially with that crush right there to get that bar at the bottom built. It's a target combo in the throw.
Oh.
This is not what you usually see. Mika caught up in the corner. This is not where you want to be if you're Mika. And Joey says, listen, Saint, you don't know nothing. I got a Colleen, but it's not over just yet. All right, that's the first one. Let's see if Tay can adjust himself and recalibrate for this pick.
Finds his way in. He opens the door. He's all the way in now. Oh, he's deep in the house. Oh. He's running into the back door. Oh, but Joey fights rather than break, which we had seen last time.
That's a neutral, though. Finds a hit. El Chicote trying to put him back in the corner. Crush, nice interruption. Finds the EX Parabellum.
Trigger's ready if he wants it. Yep, here he comes. Big plus frames on that, and he steals a forward movement in the grab.
Stop some of that pressure right there in the disco. Covering the bases just to come through in the neutral just a little bit. Don't be caught in the corner where he was at before.
Chicote absolutely willing to pump for that super right there. But Joey's in instead.
Oh, the connection right there off the medium into EX in the low.
That was, I believe, the medium level EX counter, and if it had been a medium punch, oh boy. But it wasn't. Chicote, guessing right. That's what you got to do.
Back heavy kick there from Joey. Playing a lot of space with the back throw though.
Reactions with a very fast move. Chicote chasing one side to the other so far and almost all the way back to the other. Okay, now he's got to do it again, but he has been able to.
Yeah, we've seen El Chicote take him to the other side of the screen multiple times. He's found these view versus being spent. He's like, hey, that's fine. That means, no V-bar, no unreactable dashes up in front of my face.
Right. At least not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It will eventually happen.
Oh, maybe. We'll see. Chicote with a big wrist. No, Joey with the error.
And this, I feel like, comes from when you don't know your character all the way. When you haven't practiced them as much. When you have a secondary that is maybe not as practiced. It's something you got to work on. But Joey staying solid, though. Again, call me a liar. Try to neutral jump the slide, but finds the EX off the Parabellum. This should be it. No, wait. One more hit.
One more. And goes for the grab. Chicote was willing to block. Maybe looking for shimmy. Hard to say. That Colleen look, yes, a couple of things weren't entirely there, right? Like there was a combo. There were maybe a couple of counter hit situations he didn't turn into much. That said, a lot of it was really good looking.
Yeah, you know what? I take back my words. I take back what I said. Your Colleen kind of nice. Don't ever pull out the Urian, though. Don't ever do it, Joey. Don't ever do it. But it felt like there was a lot of footsies and just knowledge of what Tay wants to do in these corner situations. When you play somebody like Tay a lot, again, having that upper echelon allows you to kind of operate and say, well, they usually do this. Let me do something different. Let me bounce out of here. And he doesn't know about the chase down, or maybe he's not ready for the chase down. Then again, maybe Tay is like, I wasn't prepared for this Colleen mentally. Now, next game, I will be.
That definitely could be. Yeah, I like the pick. I mean, using the V-reversal to get out of those situations. He didn't even... He was still knocked down. Joey was still knocked down. He still had to guess sometimes. But he was out of there more often than he would have been if he hadn't had that V-reversal to escape.
That's
so
true.
I think that we've gone back to the menu. That's what it sounded like in my ear. I'm very curious to see whether we're going to see a switch on Tay's side.
Will it be Lucia? I wonder
if
if it's going to be Lucia. Yeah, if he switches, it's going to be Lucia. Probably more pressure hard to deal with for Colleen. Not sure about the entirety of the neutral gate. Hey.
Okay, we're just useless up here, apparently. I don't know. Well, we got all these notes. What are these
y'all
things
saying
even
it's scripted?
doing? I don't know.
How you say it's scripted when they're just picking random name characters? But it's not super random. He's definitely had the G pick for a while. But this matchup this season, a little more difficult for G. The Fireball game, not super strong. And, having to build up bar, a little difficult these days because you have to be in the highest presidentiality to really work in that feature.
I mean, that character, the changes that they made are very interesting. I think they're very well-targeted, interesting changes. But, yeah, that does mean that you have to play differently here. No!
It's ride or die, though. Wakes up with the buttons. Just for breakfast is mash. And now finds the activation, goes low. Flip, kick. Sun's rising.
Oh, she just goes right into it. Tries to chase.
Tries to crush the follow-up. He hits Parabellum. What's the sequence after?
Uh-oh. Anything's gonna do it here, Chakotay. No more trigger.
I can check these dashes. Text. No anti right there. No confirm.
Oh,
no
hold
punish. In the trade in favor of Joey. The drops. But you see that Joey is the one scooping the top off. Still ready to eat. Is on set point.
Great jump spacing right there. Outside of even his range.
Let's put these right here. I feel like if Takey just cleans some of these confirms up and stay solid and know that, maybe Joey doesn't have like the best in terms of V-trigger. Oh, command grab deletes the counter right there. Stocks up. Oh, you got greedy though. Woo!
Chakotay trying to stay patient.
Backing away from the icicles. Oh,
it's
the
a
crush.
big opportunity now. Joey's got the corner. He's got trigger if he wants. Oh. Can he turn this into much? No, Joey's out of there.
Back over blocking things out. Goes through the EX. All right, stock up at the level. Oh, big crush right here. B skill popping up, and that means V-trigger is on the deck. Oh, you gotta guess. Even with V-ship, you don't have V-ship because you're in trigger. Never mind.
That's right.
You gotta hold some of this pressure.
Oh, we found it! Kept it safe, though.
Dash up throw the lockdown. You're still in quarantine, baby. You're still in quarantine. El Chakotay coming back.
Buffering it in. You can see. The dashboard first, so now he's getting maybe a bead on when Joey likes to jump. Never mind. As Joey waltzes in.
It's the command grab. No punish though. They were too late. I do like, let's say, Tay kind of getting these EXs off just to cover his approach. Now using it for the stock up, the lock up, but still, now he's going to get knocked down.
Again, back to the patient game. Joey's just outside of the range of the fireballs. You can see he knows the match.
It's a throw. Put him in a coffin. Light stuff right there. Into the big stuff. The explosion. In the B trigger. Try to get the command grab. The greediness. This might cost him everything.
Can you stay alive away from this?
It's knocked down, and that worked, Joey. So put some icicles in my glass. He's smooth, like ice. Cold to the touch, but he ain't very nice. You know what? That Colleen, though? That Colleen was kind of... That was kind of clean and also kind of ridiculous. All right? That was... All right. All right.
We thought
all right,
that was going to
Joey.
be a Mika Mirror. We were both definitely talking about that as being a
I
Mika
want to see
Mirror,
some
and it just
chaos.
absolutely didn't happen at
I
all.
want to see some chaos.
Look, Joey made a good pick in terms of character. If he had... not thought about that, done his homework. I mean, he picked a character that convinced Tay to switch away from Mika, right? I mean, that's not easy to do if you had picked somebody else. He definitely went in there understanding, like, what does Tay want to play against? What does Mika want to play against? Not this character. Neither one. And it was, the attempt of the G. Some of that stuff kind of makes sense to me, but I did see some things I think I would say out of Tay that showed a little bit off in some of the spacings. He was a little bit off in the G upper a couple of times, for example. He wasn't quite there. Yeah, missed some confirms. We didn't see some of the buffers that I think we could have seen. You do what you think is best to try to stay alive in the CPT. That was what he thought was best, and unfortunately it wasn't good enough as Joey moves on and rounds out our top 8.
Yeah, so I want to say good stuff to Joey for being prepared to have these picks,
Oh, yeah.
Even if they're not like the strongest and they're not like the most well done in terms of like a secondary, he knew what to do to get the job done. And he played upon how Tay wanted to operate as a player. And sometimes it's more important than, matchup or whatever. Like if you can beat someone with this character, if you do these things, well, you just saw it right there. Joey moving on the bracket.
All right. Well, very nicely done. We are very, very close to ending this thing. We now have the top 8. I just want to, again, reiterate, thanks to PlayStation. PlayStation Tournaments is hosting a bunch of Street Fighter V stuff right now. Please check them out at compete.playstation.com, as well as the PlayStation Tournaments EVO 2021 online warm-ups happening now. Check them out if and you can. All right, let's take a short break, and we're going to digest the top 8 when we come back. Quite a top 16. We've gotten through it now. NA Midwest #1. My name's Ultra David. I'm here with St. Cola, who came out to the sweltering heat of Southern California for the weekend. Congrats. You picked a nice time for you to come out here, heat up a little bit. Look, the matches were really good. I liked a lot of those. Some of those were really, really fun, really, really close ones. Mm-hmm. Which of those stand out in your mind? We take a look at the bracket as we're talking about this.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Honestly, I gotta say, the way that Brian F plays against Underscore was real great. In a matchup that typically is not favorable for ROG, had a game plan, executed really well. Same with Rob TV, also having a game plan, executing really well in terms of his template and his own personal game plan. So he might be actually facing off against his friend if they can get through Justa and DatVip tomorrow. What about you?
Yeah, Brutus versus DatVip was interesting. I thought that was a fun one. It was, of course, the only one on winner's side that was not a 2-0. Yeah, I think you may be looking at Brian F versus Rob TV. We'll talk about the top 8 in just a sec. Let's go down to the losers, because I did feel like that's where many of the most interesting matches happened, in my opinion. I'm talking about maybe like Joey versus Magnegro.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got to say Brutus versus Toplin was impressive to me. I just like watching both of those characters. Like, those are two really, really fun characters for me, both ones that I've used in the past. And the defense that we saw at Toplin I thought was great, and the neutral control for a lot of time.
Right.
But Brutus making those big correct reads a bunch of times in order to take it was a lot of fun to watch. And then, Underscore versus Ramsey, just the way that it ended, right? It was so close. It was the difference of style. It was the slower play, the more cautious play that we didn't expect out of Underscore. We thought that was Ramsey, but instead it was Ramsey who had to be more on the offense. And then, the end where it was just down to the wire almost. That was, for me, maybe the most fun individual set.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ramsey, Dual Kevin. Ramsey coming through to make that upset against Dual Kevin and taking him down and really giving us like a big, big upset in that loser side of things. That sets our top 8 for tomorrow. I gotta tell you right now, people, I'm sorry for what may transpire on the mic from me in this top 8, because I'm gonna get hyped for the homies. Justa versus Brian F is gonna be ridiculous. Rob TV versus DatFip, that rounds out the winner side. Loser side is gonna be Joey versus Syndicates Underscore. And then the last match of that loser side is when Kendricks versus Brutus to round that top 8. I need y'all to tune in. I need y'all to get ridiculous. I need y'all to get deep with it like deep dish pizza.
Who takes it? Who among those matches? Let's go back to the thing. Go back to the thing. I want to know, in these matches, who do you like? Do you think this is going to be a Brian F versus Rob TV?
Like
Absolutely.
Oh my God, David.
Absolutely. Pick between your best friends for my amusement right now. What do you got?
I think Rob TV takes this.
The whole thing?
I think he takes the whole thing.
Okay, do you think this is in fact going to be a Brian versus Rob TV winners finals?
Yes.
You do think that? Okay, all right, we'll see, buddy.
I'm gonna get canceled.
You should. I can't believe you committed in that way. It was so easy to make it happen.
I think Justin could make it upset, but recent data has shown me something different. Unless he stays solid tomorrow, we'll see. What about you? You're on the spot now.
I'm on the spot. Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable choice. We have seen Rob TV win other things pretty recently, for example. I think that makes a lot of sense. The way that he played, certainly when we saw him earlier, as again, we've seen this from him a bunch of times nowadays. His specificity of spacing, I'm always super, super impressed by.
Yeah.
His reactions, I feel like he almost never lets something go. Whenever he finds a hit, medium punch, crouching medium kick, either way, right? He's there. He's ready for it almost every single time. And it's just really hard to play against somebody who is capitalizing in that way when you know you can't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, you're losing a bunch of damage, and also she gets pressure.
Right.
And that's knowing that is hard, right? It just makes it harder for you. So I think is a pretty reasonable guess. What I am most looking forward to is the prattling going on between these two, Brian and Rob TV, when we hear from them.
I cannot wait for the adding on Twitter, in the DMs. I can't believe you said this, but hey, you know what? We could call this all day, but at the same time, we've seen so many blowups, so many different players coming through in these brackets that we didn't think would go this far. We all of us might have expected Dual Kevin to take the whole dang thing, though he's been out of the game for a while, and he's not even in this top 8. Underscore to be defeated by Ramsey, again, not in this top 8. Players like Brutus, who and maybe not feeling the best going in, look at where he's at right now. Yeah. Top 8. Not to say he's not strong. They're up in here too. So while we can sit here and deliberate, it could be completely different tomorrow. The top 8 could just hit real different depending on what happens. That's why you'll have to tune in. You have to tune in to see this great Street Fighter V action. There is no way that you will not tune in if you want to see high-level mid-best action. I almost said Midwest. Oh, that's disgusting. Mid-best action.
We got a bunch of different characters on deck, too. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I am always very happy to commentate with you. It's always a lot of fun. Pretty cool to actually be here in person.
Yeah.
Live. Amazing. I'm not
in my closet.
I know.
Odin's not behind me, knocking over my screen, my green screen and stuff like that. I know y'all miss him. One day I'll have to figure out how to bring him out here. But it does feel good to be out here in the offline kind of commentary, watching some great Street Fighter 5. It's good to see all of you. It's good to be around the Level Up crew that I'm meeting for the first time in person, and it's great that we're getting closer and closer to that normalcy. Maybe not the same as we had before, but we're working towards that. So please, do what you need to do to stay solid out there. Get what you got to get done. Get them vaccinations going. Stay masked up and stay safe out there, people, so we can come back to this offline. Y'all want to see me be jumping up. You want to see me in person. Take this seat out of here. All right? No more in the closet. Let's go. Let's be offline. Let's make it happen.
Well, it is slowly coming back, but we're still online for now. We've had day 1 of CPT NA Midwest #1, and we're going to have day 2 coming up tomorrow. Make sure that you tune in for that. For now, we're out of here. See you, everybody.